Yes. Welcome back to obviously another chill zone with the man. Them G's in the building, Cavs in the building, main event Savage is in the building. We're here to talk about Liverpool, man. We're not back playing football yet, but there's plenty of topics to talk about. Ryan Cherki, I don't know. Is he good enough? Salah isn't world class. Claim some claim so. I don't know. Let's have a conversation about it. Kerkez, I don't know. Is he good enough? Is he better than Robbo? Is he better than Simikas? Be a good, good discussion to be had because I've heard so many people say, get this guy in. He's better than Robbo. He's better than Simikas. I haven't seen anything special about this kid yet, but I'm sure the man them have their own point of views on it. Cav, Savage, G, big up, guys. What you guys saying?
Evening.
Good man.
There you are, man. Good little evening, you know what I'm saying? Nice and early.
Ah, shit. Well, where should we start then, lads? Where should we start? Let me see. Let's go to... Actually, do you know what? Let's start here because I think this one's a good one. I'm sure you guys have seen that Virgil's been let go from international duties early. The first thing I read, I tried to just read through it just in case it's like injuries, but the manager said it's no injury, just we're managing his workload. So question is, man, open to the panel, to be fair. How important is it for Virgil, returning early to Liverpool? Because obviously he's played quite a lot of games, apart from the League Cup games, but he's played every international game. And then the only one he missed was the one he got sent off and he didn't have to play the second game. But how important is it for him to get back to Liverpool and kind of rest? Is it pretty much, say, a week now he's got? We play against Sunday, right? So he's probably got like a week.
Sunday, yeah.
Is Holland through to the next round or something like that?
They're qualified, yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess he didn't need to really be there, innit? Yeah. I guess yeah. I don't think Virgil would have made no real difference to him. I don't think players like him. I don't feel like it makes that much difference whether you have 3 days or an extra 4, whatever it is. Like he's super fit, like really, really fit. Like it's actually mad. I didn't really notice until the other day. He's a proper fit like player in general. So yes, listen, an extra day, yeah, of course, 100% is going to help, I guess, anybody. But with someone like Virgil, and he probably prefer to even just keep playing. You know what I mean? You keep fit and stuff like that. But if you don't need to, then take that rest where you can, recharge up. As you said, we're back Sunday. So yeah, man, like honestly, just charge up, relax, do whatever they do between now and the next time the guys have got to be back in, and then ready for Sunday, man. Ready for Sunday.
Because normally the fan base start melting down, innit? If players don't get a full rest, they start saying their workload, we need to manage their minutes. So this is a moment for Virgil to so-called manage his minutes, right?
I think like Virgil's plays that style of football whereby he reads the game so well that he can conserve his energy and he doesn't stretch himself in games and stuff. So you'd probably say out of all the players that we have, he's probably one that is probably capable, just through how he looks after himself and how he plays the game, that he can manage the workload. But he's still a human being. He'll still want time to recover. He'll still want that little bit of break from being on the pitch, maybe spending a bit of time with the family and stuff, just to, if anything, just to rest his mind a little bit, because it's an intense thing being at Liverpool, playing game after game, especially with the big ties we've got coming up. So a break is always welcomed, for especially top stars. And I just, I'd like to think that Liverpool perhaps had a little bit of a say in this as well, because I think that's something in years gone by we're perhaps a little bit too nice with letting our players go away on international duty and they just get burnt out. So I don't know if Liverpool did have a say or influence it in any kind of way, but it would be nice if Liverpool were taking that bit more of a selfish approach when it comes to our players who are on international duty. If they don't need to play, can we at least ask the question whether they can, have a little bit of time off? But it's nice. It's a nice little bonus thing to have going back into club football, and hopefully, it serves him well. I don't think he's the sort of player that needs to play every single game. You know what you're going to get out of Virgil. We can't really say too much for him being rusty because he's usually available, but I'm pretty sure the extra day will do him well. And even if he had to play, I still think you still get the same Virgil turning up at Southampton. So just a nice little bonus for him to be able to come back early and just prepare for Southampton.
Yeah, I don't know. They should have probably let Cody go as well and Gravenberch go. I'd have been a bit more happier if they kind of allowed those two to go as well. But I guess Virgil gets, the props for leaving a bit more earlier. He might need the rest. He's the older one, I guess, out the rest of the young lads in there. What's your thoughts, though, Sav?
Was it like 2 days early or something like that?
They would have played. I think they would have played not tomorrow. They would have played Wednesday, I think.
No, they're playing tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah. I know they're playing Bosnia tomorrow. Yeah, man. Whatever, and he's back early. Nice, I guess. I mean, realistically, if you want to give him extra break, don't play him against Southampton either, bro. I don't even know why we need him against them teams, bro. But that would help. We shouldn't need him at the bottom of the table or something like that, bro. I know it's the Premier League and all that business, but Kwanzaa, KONATE, Kwanzaa and Gomez, I'd like rest him even more if that's the case, bro. Man plays every game.
Yeah.
The biggest break he's had is when Pickford nearly broke him, bro, and then up till that point he had played 92 games in a row or something like that. So yeah, man, it's obviously international football and club football is too different. Kav's right. Sometimes you come across being too nice, but then again, he chooses to play for his country and is the captain. So yeah, they're already through in that Media Nations League thing. So yeah, let him go home. And Gakpo don't need no rest coming on early though. He plays half the games anyway, bro.
Why do they always sub him off around like 60 minutes? I saw like 60, 70 minutes. I already know my phone's popping off saying Cody's been subbed.
I don't know.
Like literally, that's what his subbing off time is. What is it with the Nation League though? Because I still don't understand it. Is it like people in from Group A to whatever, and then you get relegated and promoted based on?
It makes sense. They basically, it's all the friendlies that we used to have. People were moaning about them being needless friendlies in it, so they're like, well, we'll make a tournament of it instead. Give a bit more competition there as well, and some of the smaller nations a chance to do better in it. But obviously, there's a league, and then it goes into like a small knockout format, and then it's the final in it. But if you get relegated, then you have to make your way back up. So, that's where England and that's been. So yeah, it's a bit.
So we're now in the next group, so we can't get into like the final now.
You're England.
Yeah. Like
what do you mean we, bro? You're not an England fan. We French blood.
Yeah, off the back of a 5-0 wall, suddenly it's we.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, right. We. No, but what happens now? Because England's got back into the
get promoted.
That's it.
Yeah, to play against the big boys the next time. That's what you get for getting relegated against Hungary, bro. That's what you want. That's what happens.
So what? Now we're in the same group as what, like Holland and Spain and all these man. Or
we have to wait for this Nations League part to finish. I think I don't know how that part works.
But... When's the next Nations League games? It's quite a while away now, isn't it? 18 months or something.
Yeah. Like some kind of craziness, bro. I don't know, man. It's another tournament that England don't win, but because to be fair, the teams that win it, they do take it serious when they get there and that, bro. It's just England, you know what I mean? It's like the Conference League, isn't it? Another trophy.
Yeah.
So in the midst of all this, then do you then have qualifications for Euros and World Cup, or is that basically the Nations League?
Nah, the competition, the World Cup and the Euros are still there.
You still gotta play them qualifiers plus this.
Yeah, the way to see it is the friendlies that you had before. They're the Nations League, isn't it?
Okay,
that's it. That's it. And then they'll probably take away. There used to be like 6 friendlies. Now there'll be like 2, and then they'll have 4 in the Nations. It's whatever, isn't it? I hear it still. Yeah, it's easy to be fair. I dismiss it because I don't care, but it's easy to dismiss it when your team never wins anything, can it? The teams that do battle for it and that, they seem to enjoy it, but it's still kind of fresh on it. I feel like that about the Conference League, so it's all good.
Who won?
I think one thing that's been nice is to see some of the like Angel Gomez and Harwood Bellis and these kinds of players play in this tournament. That's been kind of cool because they're players that I kind of know of, and Harwood Bellis was at Man City, weren't he? And then moved in. Angel Gomez has spoken up and stuff, but still young players. It's nice to actually see them because I'll admit I'm probably not tuning into their league games to see what they're about. So get them together in the camp and see what they're about. Maybe Tuchel might stick with 1 or 2 of them as well, and you can see the next gen coming through. So
yeah, because the under 21 games are pretty good still. They're always on YouTube, innit? Yeah, man, they're good. A lot of them
are playing now.
I think so.
Yeah, under 21's playing tonight. I think. Yeah.
Because that Gomez and Curtis and all that stuff. That's what I saw last year when they were all in the under 21s together. So like the identical midfield, and I think Bellis. I think he was their captain last time
Yeah,
I
it
saw
was.
under 21. So it is nice to see. Gomez still ain't grown up. He's tiny. Angel is just
Bro, he looks tiny, bro.
Not
He looks
gonna grow
the
it.
same. He looks the same.
That's
yeah,
where
man.
it is.
Ain't Bellis the one who's dating Keen's daughter, innit?
Yeah.
That's madness.
You fighting, Carol? You fighting with?
Bro,
Why you getting
sound like
nervous
you're
about
having
it?
a
Because I
war
said
over
I said
there.
Keen's daughter.
You know what the goal?
Yard and that,
I went to the poltergeist is moving cups across the ground.
Nah, that's just
Nah.
who set me up? Who set me up here? Who did I piss off yesterday? Jesus, I'll hold it. I'm like a rock star. Look at this. Oh damn!
Oh, I was just like,
Yeah,
fighting.
you
Hold
guys
it
carry on.
still.
I'll just sort this
Go
out.
full Freddie Mercury on it, innit? Just hold it. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, real talk.
Oh shit, man. All right, boys, moving on, man. I saw this on online, just conversation on Twitter and stuff like that. In terms of Ibu, man, for some reason, international wise, this man is doing so well. Captain the country the other night. I looked at it. I didn't watch his first game. Watch the second one. First game did well based on the stats. I didn't watch it. Saw a bit of the highlights. Second game watch, and I thought he did really well. What is he close to being world class, or is he still far off of it? Because I know, G, you always mention the Bozo gene. You haven't really used that phrase in a while, but
I've used it this season, but yeah, you're
have
right.
you used it this season? No, you did. You
I've
did.
def-
I think
I've-
Yeah, remember when he did the look at idiot thing in the box and the thing he scored against us when he kept it in for no reason?
But okay.
And then everyone still tried to give him man of the match and that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, nah, man ain't getting no man of the match. Nah.
Man tried
Because
to
he
throw
usually
us under the-
conceded. Nah.
he tried to throw us under the bus and that, brother. Man was like,
Real
yeah,
talk, bro.
he can still get man of the match. No, he can't.
Okay. Is Konate, guys in the chat as well, big up to everyone locked in. Is he close to being world class, or is he still far off a bit?
Yeah, I'll be honest, bro. Me and G talk about this all the time. I don't know, bro, because I don't even know what world class is now, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. There's always
I think, listen, I think if Liverpool can get over the line in major trophies with him as part of the partnership, then I think we can talk in it. That's what I think we can talk about it, bro. I don't think it's fair to say that now because, I mean, I'll be arguing the same point with Saliba and that I don't think he's world class, and I think they're really good. I think Gabriel's cold and that as well. So if he can get over the line with that as a partnership, then yeah, I think so. Attribute wise, though, he seems to have everything. He seems to be improving, a little bit smarter on the ball and stuff like that. He's probably learning from not just Virgil. Probably, I don't know, man. He might be one of them people who concentrate and study the game and that, bro. He's a little bit less hasty than he was before. I think any little, I don't know, man. Listen, you can be world class and still drop a mistake every now and again. So he might always have that in him, bro.
Yeah.
Who knows, bro? You get me? But yeah, I thought that was dope. So I watched the game yesterday against Italy.
How was it?
That game was crazy still, man.
I didn't watch it. I heard people talking about it.
Yeah, the game was a bit hype still. I don't know what's going on, man. Them man had bare energy, bro. But yeah, man. No, hey, listen, captain and that. Learning there. He looked like a leader on the pitch as well. That was the difference for me. Like I'm used to. I get it because he's normally next to Virgil and that in it, so they're taking orders down there. But yeah, it was seeing him organize and stuff like that. I was like, I never really thought of you like that. Obviously, the way he looks and stuff like that, you're like, oh yeah, he looks like he could be a captain just because he can be intimidating and looks like he handles himself and that. But seeing him talk on the pitch and stuff, yeah, a lot smarter. I rate it still, man. A lot of Liverpool players seem to be captains. We got bare of them, innit? Even Brad has been captain of the team as well, bro. So yeah, madness.
That was always the evolution that was spoken about with Konate, wasn't it? One thing was keeping him fit. That was the main thing. But also, I think people recognized how good he was. And the question was, can he be a leader? Virgil's not going to be here forever. He's the next best centre-back. This is obviously prior to Kwanzaa stepping in. Can he be the leader? Or is he what we refer to as like a second defender? Does he only work beside a particular type of defender? Yeah. Can he be the man to marshal the back line? Can he make sure it's straight, it's positioned on the pitch correctly, and all these things? And it's nice to see that he's being trusted with the captaincy because clearly he's demonstrating that kind of leadership. So that's an evolution for him, which is great. He's in red hot form. He needs to stay fit. And the thing I like about him is he's got a personality as well.
Yeah.
You know, he's not afraid to celebrate our goals. He's not afraid to, you know, bring the anime sort of stuff in, and he dresses quite, you know, extravagantly at times. He's not afraid to be a character, and I like that about him, because you need to, as a footballer, to make it to world-class status, in my eyes, is you need to have undoubted self-belief. And part of that is shown through the way you carry yourself, and the fact that you're not afraid to get involved with celebrations. You're not afraid to slap your teammates and have a laugh and a joke. You're not afraid to wear slightly out there clothing and all these kinds of things. He feels like he's himself, you know, and he backs himself and is confident in his own person as well as ability. So I think he's on the right path to becoming world class. I'm just not too sure it's been long enough to label him as that. And like Savage says, I think you've got to win things to really have that status.
The longest run of games.
He's playing. And you know what? It's title winning form as well. You know, Virgil as well. Both those two as a centre back pairing. The form that they're showing. If you win titles, you go straight into the added saying that defenses win league titles, and you'd be like, oh yeah, they've just proved that again, haven't they? They're great, and I do also think that Trent's positioning and how he's approaching the game is slightly helped Konate in a sense as well. He seems a lot more switched on. Konate's having to do a little bit less work than in years gone by, so that's also played its part. But he seems great. He seems like he's a lot more intelligent, reading the game well. And the thing I've noticed within the season is he's choosing when to step in and when to let a player take the ball down, because he doesn't always need to step in. He knows that barely anyone's quicker than him. So, you know, if you don't feel like you can win that ball cleanly, or you don't feel like you can push the player over and get a cheeky foul further up the pitch or anything like that, all right, well, trust your pace then. You know, let him bring it down, let him try and run you. You know, you've got that as well. So when you've got all the weapons in your armory, it's just about choosing which one you use at each time. And I feel like he's done that better this season. He
does have that thing as well, doesn't he? Like, I was asking for this before. I mean, it's not always going to happen, but he seems like he enjoys defending. Yeah, loads of men don't, because they grew up being a different style of player in it, and they just got put there because they were good enough. And I'm not going to turn out being a footballer, so I play in that position. And I was always wondering that with Liverpool. I'm like, yo, even though it doesn't matter as such, when I see man celebrating tackles and that after and slapping the goalkeeper on the back, like, yo, I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Okay, this is like how I see like Rudiger and that as well, bro. Man, them just love it, bro. And the fact he does, he seems to look like, even when you hear him speak and stuff like that, you can tell that he knows he's lucky to be a footballer. Not in like attributes, like not many people are footballers, so I'm just going to enjoy myself. So what Cav said, that's why every time you see him at inside training and everything like that, bro, the cameras he doesn't have to know the cameras on him, bro. He's always happy, bro. He's chilling. But I'm stoked, man. I always enjoy football, bro. Yeah, so go for him.
What about you, G, man? Or do you still think he has the bozo gene?
He definitely still has the bozo gene, but I think he's definitely improved in everything you guys said. I think Hunter's better on the ball. I don't think he's even better on the ball. I just think he's making better decisions. On the ball is probably what I would say. As Kat said, when to step in and stuff like that. That I have to give him, the credit for. It's funny. I was just about to say before you guys were talking. It's funny because this conversation played out on Twitter doesn't go like this, because effectively we've all just said, nah, he's not world class. Yeah, like effectively. But you know what I mean, like in terms of bigging him up and whatever. Whereas, it's just funny because when you relay that on social media, obviously it comes across a lot different.
He's in world class form.
Listen, I think there's a lot of players in world class form, but as you said, as Savage, I think you just said it a minute ago about this is the longest he's ever played. Like so,
I think having to say
that about a player, that's
I think that's the difference. I think when the reason why it doesn't play out well on Twitter is because if I say someone's not world class, then people just heard
why is he not world class? What
they heard was Savage said he was shit. I said
it's the Strawberry thing. I told you
because if world class is like that, I mean, apart from that flipping whatever tier that is when them other dons Messi and that. If world class is the top level, then it can't be a dismiss just saying you're not world class. I'm just saying you're on the way there. That should be a good enough thing to say. You're only young.
Where is he ranked currently, you think, in world football as a centre back?
Class. Whatever the level below world class.
No, like from if I had to put a number on it.
Numbers 2. There's only one man ahead of him, in my opinion. That's Virgil.
Oh, you mean like rank?
Yeah. So where do you think? Because obviously, I know you guys watch a lot of like football outside of the Premier League. So where would you think he's ranked? Cav's gone bold in number 2. I hear it still, Cav.
No, I just think that's his current form. You can't you can't
challenge.
criticize any aspect of his game at the moment. Even passing, calmness on the ball, playing out from the back. And take the defensive side conversation away from it and just talk about on the ball progression, not up the pitch and stuff. I think he's been great.
Yeah,
can't fault him.
Yeah, because we're talking on form, and Cav might be right still. Because I feel like with centre back,
yes, but
it kind of is. People do kind of come as a partnership. So me saying that Virgil's I think he's the best in the world anyway. But even on form, if I said Virgil's the best on form, how the hell can I? Because you could argue that Konate has been better than him, depending on what you like. So yeah, he probably. I mean, we got the best defense everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's the best. Let me.
Do you think he's better than? Okay, forget form then.
Oh, without form, yeah. Then
I feel like Rudiger's still better than him.
Yeah. Without form, I feel like especially with centre backs, I feel like experience plays such a massive role because you have to play at certain levels in it as a centre back and experience the highest level. If you lose this, you lose this championship. That's it, done. He ain't really experienced that because he's always in and out the team, and that's also to G's point, which is the opposite with the Bozo thing is. He just never experiences a long run of games. So that means in a short run of games, if you see something stupid, it stands out more. If you have 20 games and you do one thing stupid, you're like, oh, little mistake. If you have 5 games and you do something stupid, that's when you're like, oh, fuck, okay, he's got a problem here. Because then when he comes back and there's another 5 games and there's another problem, then you start seeing a pattern. But now he's in a run of form and stuff. And I feel like that with every player as well. I give everyone that kind of grace. When you're in playing a certain amount of games and stuff like that, a striker who comes in for one game, misses a sitter and then doesn't play again, that's all you've got in your mind about that striker. Striker plays 10 games, misses 2 easy chances in this game and then has the rest of them. You get me? You're like, oh no, he's still cold. So yeah, man, there's a tier above him. Usually they're more experienced. He's young, like I said. So in the world though, Cav's right on form. 100%.
The next challenge for him as part of this conversation is coming up very soon when we play Real Madrid and Man City. Is in world class form. So I don't think it's unfair to expect him to go and show out against these two teams. If you really want to be world class, you're in world class form now, okay. But if you want to be considered world class in the future, you need to step into these big ties and perform. Now, you're not going to be the guy that dictates whether we win the game, but you certainly can control whether we're going to concede and lose it. So make your mission to get that clean sheet, and if he performs as he has done against those tough opposition, then it only strengthens that argument. Yes, he still needs to go and win things, but you can't be in red hot form and then drop clangers against these two sides, ultimately come to nothing at the end of the season, no trophies, and then have the same conversation. This is where the form came at the right time. And how often have we said that going into a Man City tie and Real Madrid tie? Usually we have a player or two out, or he's not quite where you'd want him to be. And actually the sides going into these ties, obviously we've got Southampton to get past first, but the sides going in, into these ties in good form, players confident. This really, when we start doing these previews, we should, based on the performances of Konate and Virgil, like we've just spoken about, be like, we can go win these. And that's where the conversation expands then, and start going, well, why should we win this? Well, because I think Konate is on world class form as it stands, and this is a world class centre back hiring. So I think we should get a clean sheet, and
I'm already dropping the pressure on him. I keep seeing man keep posting the thing like, oh, Vinny's not got past him in this minute. I said, you man, stop doing that.
Stop it, yeah. Don't jinx it.
Are we in agreement then? Yeah, this doesn't even do with Konate, but I'm just listening. Are we in agreement then that Harry Kane is the only player in recent history who doesn't need trophies to define that he's a world-class player?
Yeah. Okay. Off the top of my head, yeah.
I'm gonna agree.
Just you know why? Because it's like I think the two go hand in hand. But if you don't have trophies, you have to be as good as Harry Kane, I feel like consistently.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's hitting 30 every season for like 10 years or whatever he's done, over the period of time. I don't think Son's world class, but I
think what's helped him as well is Solanke's start to his Spurs career as well. Like, he's done well, but you instantly know if Kane was in there ahead of him that he'd have scored more goals. And so you can look at Kane at Bayern, and obviously he's doing really well over there. But you can also look at what he's left behind and think, actually, he's a loss to them. So that sort of tells a bit of the story as well. But I agree with you. I think Kane's probably. I'll try and think of somebody else, but Kane's
I can't think of anyone.
He's not saying Son in the chat, but
Son's like that's my guy, man.
No, look, Savage, he's my guy. Like I love, so he's such a dope player. But you know when I'm like, I don't know, like if I could just.
The thing is,
you can get honorary mention though.
Son might creep it because I've seen him in whatever the biggest games he's got to. I've seen him cooking them, even in like the World Cup.
Yeah.
So maybe him as well. But it's mad you said about Harry Kane, because when I was watching England yesterday, I've been thinking this when he was in the Prem as well. I think Harry Kane, depending on what team he plays, he could play midfield, you know.
Bro, Rooney things. He can do Rooney.
His creativity is, bro. The way he can pass. Most people don't talk about the way he passes the ball. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah,
he can pick out a pass from anywhere. Obviously, his legs on it. He's not as fast, but then I'm thinking of like certain people.
He try to make that run.
Nah, he was crazy when he tried to run from the edge of his box. That's just pass the ball. Just pass the ball. Give it to someone faster.
Yeah, because obviously the way England playing it, they have the wide wingers really high forward. Is Gordon and Madueke and that.
Yeah,
and then Kane's playing in the false six and that, proper deep, bro. So I realized what he was doing. He'd pick up the ball and then he'd let Bellingham do all the running on it, so we can catch it. By the way, I know me and Ed spoke about this before. Bellingham needs to calm down, bro. He's gonna run it all kneecaps off, bro. I've never seen a player that wants to do. Gerrard done it, but he needed to, bro. Gerrard needed to.
I feel like Gerrard
he plays for Real Madrid
like
and England. Yeah, Gerrard, bro.
In yesterday's game.
No, he played
Bellingham went to tackle a guy.
Yeah.
I swear, he went to tackle a guy, right? And the guy was between him and the ball, and he just thought, I'm not stopping. And he just climbed over him, right, gave a foul away. I said, clearly you weren't getting there, bro.
He's got a thingy in it. He's got a unique way of tackling, so he normally slides on one knee all the time. Yeah. But if he's about to miss you, it's what Cav said. He doesn't think, okay, I've been cooked. He'll just throw his body at you then.
Yeah.
I seen a geezer get past him, and he just jumped on his back. He just jumped on him. And he's like, yeah, I'll just take the foul. Then he's sunning off, man. And then I'm watching the game, and I'm like, bro, this geezer's like, he's next to Madueke, yeah. Then I'll sit him next to Gordon. Then I'll sit him next to the centre back. It's like, bro,
I get it, bro.
Wait, let someone else play. Let someone else play.
Let someone else play.
You know, he's got someone who pro clubs like ends who wants the ball all the time. He's like that.
I
swear it's like ends when he says, right, I'm going centre mid now. I'm going to say now. You know what you're in for.
I've only watched you guys play pro clubs once. I think, twice actually. Online. Ends, you actually like when soon as Savage said that, in my head I'm thinking that is ends. The way that you guys talk about it, that is actually ends.
That's why we put him up front.
Ends,
we put him up front just so we can play.
Yeah, ends is cold, yeah. But you see the way he's playing in pro clubs. When someone else is playing like that, he don't like it. It frustrates him because he wants to.
Oh, what a coincidence!
Because you doesn't like it. Right, yeah. You put end in DM, yeah. I swear to God, bro. This man is gonna pass the ball to every AI player to get the ball back for no reason, bro. Like I'm like, bro, he's playing in his head like he's really playing in that, bro. Let's get the ball forward. As soon as I'm in midfield and I get the ball, yo, Savage, you didn't see the pass that, bro. I passed it to Gavin, he scored. Yeah, what? But I was there. I'm like, all right, bro. Like I get it.
Hey, why score a goal when you can make
a pass? You have that in you. I knew it. I just knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Like Guardiola's me all the time, bro. That's how he's always treated me. Send the ball to Cav. Cav scored the screamer. Yeah, Sav, you could have passed that to me. Whip one from outside the box, brother. I'll whack one in from outside the box. Top bins, crossbarring in. Yeah, it's a good goal still. Or he'll go quiet. Like Cavan's a beer like, what a goal in that. And I'm like, so you're just not gonna say anything? It's a good goal, man. You could have passed the ball though. I'm like, bro.
You said Edmore, you don't want to big up the man them? Like what's going on?
No, I do big up their goal, man, when they score a good goal, but I don't know, man. Sometimes there's a simpler option, isn't it? We don't need the screamers every day.
He just scored. Hold on.
It's just Ends can't help it though. He can't help it because when that goal that we scored the other day against, I think it was against Villa. You know the one when Salah hit the ball near post?
Yeah.
I think he went on that run. Bro, just listen to how Ends speaks about that goal, bro. The first thing he said,
no, he talked about the other day about
he's like, he could have just scared it for a tap in. I'm like, I hear it still, but the goal's gone in now. Like,
Like,
And it's Salah. We've seen him do this like 100 times.
yeah, like 100 times. Sure, you know, he must pass the ball in that same. And
Nah, it was a simpler option, bro. Just pass it in it, man. You know what I mean? Guaranteed.
maybe in Salah's head that was the simpler option, which is
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
in
you
a
know, you gotta
selfish
think of
mind
it.
head, bro. That's what happened.
It's thinking,
I
man.
swear, when
It's
En says he's going to midfield, I just sit back in my chair. I was like, oh, we're going to relax for 15 minutes. We're relaxed.
That's what Enzo's got in his head at all times. Pep ball, bro. That's what it is, man. And remember, when Henry said that he created a goal and got subbed off, and that's what he's on still.
That's the end.
Nah, that's deep.
That's like Guardiola told me not to move and that, so he subbed me off. I'm like, man, set up the goal and that.
We're winning because of our parts. No, I'm not that deep. But nah, do you know what? I just prefer the simpler options at time, bro. Just square it if it needs to be squared. Tap it in if it needs to be tapped in, bro. Not every day we need a screamer, bro. Not every day we need a wonder goal.
No, I hear that though, Enz, but like it's FIFA, bro. Like, can we play? Can we have fun?
Like, but, you know, like, can we all have fun? Like, can we enjoy it? Like, is that okay?
Can we have fun? Yeah, after we get off, we can talk about it, but that might be fun. Talking to Mo Salah, bro. DEENEY's in the papers again, talking about being world class, man.
God, this guy's always talking. Man.
Okay, can I go first on this, bro? I don't want to sound like I'm defending him. I'm not defending Troy Deeney. I'm defending the point in it. Because I heard
there it is.
Okay, you can read it then. Yeah, I mean.
He said, my argument's always been that I just don't think he's world class. That's harsh anyway, bro. What do you mean you don't think he's world class? Like, for me, this part here, I don't understand what he sees from Mo Salah that isn't world class. Like, what in his mind right now, where he's sitting there going, I don't care about all the goals you scored. I don't care about you winning the Premier League. I don't care about you finishing high up in the Ballon d'Or. I don't care about winning, the Champions League. I don't care about you winning all the domestic cups. I don't care. I don't understand.
Listen, Enz, I don't want to do this yet, but it kind of sounds like you talking, apart from that you said Salah's world class, but it sounds the same thing that you would say.
It actually does. It actually.
Yeah, like, bro.
I even feel verbatim you've said these words. Like
the fact is that Liverpool fans get defensive of Salah, and they get triggered. They start making up stuff that's never been said as well, or he's always disrespected. Bro, man, I have to read what he said. Where's the disrespect?
Yeah, so he said world class is just different opinion. What I think of world class is would I want my kids to play like that player? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't define world class, though. And
this is the problem. G, do we have a definition of world class?
Because that's like saying I would prefer my kid to play like
Vinicius,
Andy Robinson. I don't even use Andy Robinson because that's a bit deep. Like, I want my kid to play like Kwanzaa, because in my mind Kwanzaa is world class. But everyone else would be like, bro, he's not world class. He's not even close to that yet.
Listen, like I said, I'm not defending him. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said. And the only reason why everyone else does is because the Liverpool fans. That's the problem. And the same thing would happen if we went to another team and we picked their best player and they said there wasn't world class. That's all it is. It's just for the Liverpool fans, bro. Because let's be honest, this kind of just sounds like the people that rate Hazard more than Salah. It's only the fact that he said the world class part, but until there's an absolute definition, because I'm talking about objectively Salah's world class. There's not an objective definition of world class, though. Mm-hmm. So he's not wrong, and he even says it himself. It's the difference of opinion. Now, if you give him something that defines 100% what's world class, Salah's it, which I reckon if we did make a proper definition, Salah would be it. Then if he said this, then it would sound stupid. But at the moment, it's just an opinion. And, I mean, the fact he's give his definition of what type of player, and he said Vinny, well, that means that Troy just likes more techie type players than that. It doesn't mean the person's better than him. Yeah,
I told you, man, need a step over Mo, man. That's what I think is world class. If I was just to ask my kids who they want to be as forwards, I would just say I would like them to look at what Vinny Jr. does opposite to Mo Salah or Mohamed. I don't know. He just wants the techie players, innit? He just wants the techie skillful guys. But Vinny's world class, though. Vinny's world class. So I can't even. It's not even a knock.
Remember, he's world class to us. Yeah, I'm with Savage though, and this is me talking as a thing. Like, I never saw anything wrong with it because I was like, if you think that Vinny is world class for whatever your reasoning is, as Savage said, there's no definition. So if there's no definition, we're all going by. I think Pops, you just said it in the chat. We're all creating this personal definition of what world class is. There's no definition to it. So we've all kind of got this general consensus, I guess, of certain things and criteria that players need to hit for us to consider that. That's why I remember I just asked you guys about the Harry Kane thing, where some people would say, well, Virgil can't be the best centre back because he's only got one Premier League title. Well, it's like, well, do you need to have one? Do you need to have 5? Do you need to have 10? Like, do you need? There's no number to this. So if he's saying he prefers Vinicius, I'm like, that's actually super calm. Like, if you ask me to pick between 2 players, I'm picking Vinicius over Salah every day. Not because I think Vinicius is better, because Vinicius is my type of player. Hazard is my type of player. Like, those are my kind of players. But if you ask me who is actually better, I would say Salah is better than all of them. But if you ask me my type, it's not going to be Salah. Bro, Salah, that's not my type of player. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't make no sense. Like, we all like that type of, you know, whatever. And it's fine to like, if you like Salah, if you don't like Salah, it's calm. That's why I wasn't mad. But Savage said it there, as per usual. Liverpool fans, fucking hell, bro. Like, it's like your period came early, bro. Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, was angry at this whole thing. I never understood.
Cav, I know you want to go, but do you want to add this to maybe your answer to the question? So, question: is Salah the best player in the last 10 years? Because on the overlap they said KDB. They mentioned bare players except for Mo.
I don't think it's a bad opinion to think that KDB is better because he's won so much more and he's directly been involved in Man City winning those things as well. So he's got everything to back an argument in that respect. But I do disagree. I think whether you think a player, your preference on a style of player is subjective, is what you like. But I think Mo Salah is undeniably world class, in my opinion. Yeah. I think it's I can't. We've criticised some performances of his, right? We talk about his game's changed. He's in good form at the moment, but we can't deny that there are games or 45 minutes of games, 60 minutes of games that just pass him by, and he's not interested. He doesn't really show for the ball. He doesn't really get really involved. He'll walk away with a goal or an assist.
Salah, anytime.
Yeah, but you sweep it. No, but you sweep them performances under the carpet, right? And you move on. And then he gets to a point which he is now, where actually the performances are there as well as the goals. But one thing he's always had is an influence on games, a positive influence on games. Almost 9 times out of 10 games, right? He's scoring a goal or getting an assist. He's walking away with the best stats in world football most seasons. I just think you can look at them performances and not like some of them, and you can think that the world-class performances are a bit few and far between. But when you look at all of the right wingers in football and you look at all the wide forwards in football, or any forward in football, I think undoubtedly, I think you struggle to argue that he's not the best, or certainly in the world-class bracket out of them all. So in my opinion, he is world-class. I would like him to continue this form because I think he is in world-class form based on the last 3-4 performances, say. My expectation is that then performances will drop off, but the goals and assists will remain. And that will be the shame for me because he shows that when he wants to turn up, he's the best player on the pitch. But how long will that last for? One thing that's undeniable is if Liverpool win anything this season, and Liverpool could win the Premier League, they could win the Champions League, so the biggest honours in football, club football, it will be largely because of Mo Salah's performances and what he gives us. So I think if you say he's not your preference of player, fine. To say he's not world class is, in my opinion, wrong. You know, it is. And I'm with you, G. I loved Hazard as a player. I think he was so elegant on the ball, silky. I like the way that he went by people, the way he carried himself, everything. That's my preference of player as well. But I'm not going to, like you, I'm not going to say that he's better than Salah because he's clearly not. He's clearly not, you know. So, you know, much like as a forward, I love Suarez's approach to the game. And he is one of the best strikers that's ever lived. But I'm not going to say he's the best. It was just my preference, you know. So in my opinion, I think Troy Deeney was wrong. He is world class. You just don't. You just like other players ahead of him, and that's fine. But he is world class.
Yeah,
and he has been.
Like I said, man, in football in particular, until FIFA or someone make some proper definition of what it is, then it's always going to be opinions. It doesn't. The real question is, why are Liverpool fans so bothered? Because all the comments I keep saying is all of a sudden everyone's dissing Troy Deeney's profession and what he's done in the game because of his opinion.
Wow, crazy.
And I'm like, oh yeah, they're like, why are you taking this guy serious? Why are you taking these championship level players? That's fine, but if that's the case, why take us content creators? Well, we ain't played on that level at all, bro.
Mm.
And I'll tell you why, Saf. I'll give you a reason as to why. It's because we're the nearly men. Because the guys that actually go out and win the major honors don't have to do as much talking. No one talk. You know, when anybody says, "Oh, Rodri shouldn't have won the Ballon d'Or. He wasn't the best player." He just turns around and shows them their trophy, and it's conversation done. You know, it shows the trophy cabinet, it shows the amount of minutes he played in that season, the important goals he scores. It's conversation done. It's not a conversation. Whereas for our players, if you're walking away with a Carabao Cup at the end of the season, unfortunately, you have to speak a little bit more to defend your case. So I think that's why we
want to get their opinion across. They just want to be right, bro. But you can't be right in an opinion. So just say your piece, and then if man don't want to listen to me, safe. And it disrespecting his profession when he didn't disrespect Salah. He just said what he thought, bro. It's not disrespectful. If he said Salah was shit, and then you're like, what? There's no need to be like that. And it sounds crazy, bro, but these are footballers, isn't it? So whilst Deeney's been playing, Salah's been playing, and vice versa, isn't it?
Yeah.
They watch less football than us, bro, unless they're going out of the way to study it. So then he's only going to see with certain big games because he's playing at the same time as Liverpool and that. And he just might think that, okay, the biggest games those kind of people end up watching when he's playing for Watford and all that is the Champions League and stuff like that. So then he's just watching cup finals, which Real Madrid seem to dominate cup finals. Vinny's there all the time. So that might be the reason why he thinks it. I don't see it as a diss, but this in his profession, like I said, we're content creators. We're not playing at Premier League level. So people go in as a championship level, why listen to his opinion? Okay, well then why listen to anyone in the chat at all? Why listen to any content creator? Because we're just saying stuff. Some man ain't even played football. Some man can't even do kick-ups energy. Cruyff turns to So
there's a few people. Listen, Christmas time, I'm gonna.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I'm gonna laugh my head off at some people.
And then when people go, why take him serious? I ain't listen. I'm like, you clearly listen, then you clearly talk him serious. That's what you're talking about, it, bro.
No, but
it's those people that their kid talks about bending their knee, just pure straight legged in that.
No. I saw someone do that today, bro. It irritated me so much. I had to do the pet thing. I say
no hope for them.
Nah,
just give them a refund and send them back home.
No, it was someone across in it. We was at Power League, you know, and I was training. And then I saw the guy, and I'm like, bro, it was winding me up. I left my cage to go in there and say, listen, bro, you need to slight bend in the knees.
There's no way. There's no what? Bro, he went into another man. I swear to God, if you rock up to my cage, I'm kicking your head in.
It's diabolical, bro. Entering the cage is diabolical, bro. That's crazy, bro.
You know when you're doing the thing drills and you're like, yeah, and your energy's high. And I look at, when you glimpse, and I'm like, why is he just like, he's just doing that? And I'm like,
wait. How old was the person?
I don't know, like maybe 20. Maybe.
Nah, you're taking the piss, bro. That's
like 20.
That's like the next man's girl's ass, blood. What are you doing, bro? You can't just come in my cage, bro.
He had the straight, bro. The man had straight knees. His knees was locked, bro. Why is his knees locked? Doing kick-ups,
maybe he got a problem with his knee, man. I don't know. Like you don't even know.
Oh, get out the cage, then, man. Go on. I don't know. You know that little? They've got that little middle one for the kids. The little small. Let's go in there, bro. No one can see you then.
That's crazy.
Walking into another team's cage is crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
And you're walking in there to criticize someone else. He's not
crazy,
coaching, Cav. He's criticizing. He's telling man.
Hey, sorry if you ever watch this, my man.
Nah, man. There's only
go Power League again.
You know what I mean? There's certain circumstances, bro. How long you got left? We've booked this, or have you dropped your phone because we found these car keys? That's it, bro. You can't just go in the next man's cage to do anything else, bro.
I've seen people in Power League leaving an ambulance, bro. You can't mess around with them kind of people.
I can't help it. I said, just slight bend, bro. The slight bend in the knees. That's why your technique ain't there. And then I don't know if he took it because I didn't bother. You know what I mean? To go and
I tell you what, Power League, them cages are the most dangerous places in England.
Dangerous, bro.
I'm telling you now.
Yeah. You know when you play against a team, their whole tactic is to shoulder barge you into the cage, bro. That's their whole tactic.
Bro, I've played against a team once in there, and all they'd use was just the cage to play 1-2s. Off the cage to play one. I'm like, nah, what's this?
But some people, bro, some teams like Power League is. I've worked there. Power League is you need to make sure your eyes are always glued to that camera, to them cameras.
I've seen so many referees get beat up.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
refs. We had to stop
Yeah.
getting. In the end, people just had to have their own. This was the one in North Finchley. People had to have like their own referees come down because
Yeah,
no one
refs
wanted
get
to
some stuff
referee. I was like,
regular,
wow.
bro.
Yeah, respect the rest, man. Respect the rest, man. They've
Nah,
When
fighting
is the
hard.
sometimes
ref
refs are being
man head
bricks,
height
bro,
and that
so-
blood? You get elbowed in the face, bro. What do you mean head height? Bro?
You know, it's the one when they give it against you when it came off the other player and then goes head height. You're like,
Yeah.
well, we came off of him. When I hit him in the shins.
But don't you think head height's a wild rule anyway? No one's the same height, bro. What do you mean head height, bro?
That's what I've always said. I've always said that. But if we're not all the same height, how do you judge it?
Because Enz is lanky and that, bro. So your head height is
Yeah,
crazy.
love you, bro. Love you.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a crazy woman. On that Salah thing, bro, because obviously people are asking about the overlap one as well. I watched the whole overlap thing, but bro, man, have to start acting like people are being disrespected in these things, bro. They're not, bro. Because the overlap one was who's the best in every decade since the Prem started. So not saying Salah's not that crazy, even though if you put him in, it wouldn't sound that crazy either. Yeah, I mean, they put De Bruyne in, and everyone's like, yeah, but you know, he only won 2 Premier Leagues in that time, in that first 10 years. I'm like, well, okay, what does that matter, bro? It's talking about the player himself, innit? Because I think KDB's disrespected sometimes. People just think he's like some now he's injured and that man acting like he's some scrub, bro. But
until he comes back. Until he comes back that first game. Okay.
But it's all like I said, man. It's all opinions, and everyone wants to preach on YouTube. Everyone's allowed their opinion until some Premier League person has their opinion. Then you got an issue with it, bro. It's kind of crazy to me that's a thing.
One thing I realized, like as Liverpool fans, even though we might not agree on most things, when it comes to they feel like there's some disrespect, it all stand together, bro.
Yeah. I will give Savage. I didn't watch the full overlap. Yeah, you see in those segments where they're talking about the decade player of the decade.
Yeah.
Did they give did they give you a list, or was it just they just said the first name?
No, they just said names like Cantona.
Okay, so that even supports what I was thinking then, which is the way that people were acting. It's as if they had like a list of 10 names. Yeah, I heard Roy King get shots as well, and I think that was mostly because he was there as well.
No, it was only Fingy who gave. It was Jill Scott who gave him the show, and he ignored her, bro, and carried on talking.
I feel like they ignore her there, but anyway, we'll get to that.
That's why she starts to throw digs at them all the time.
I got a question.
She's gonna have to.
I like her though. I like her.
I got to relate. Yeah, she's good to be fair. She fits in quite well in that group. It'd be a question. I got a question. How come we seem to have these conversations, or it's Salah's name that's spoken about in this way where they don't think he's world class or whatever it is, and somebody like Virgil isn't? Because both of them perform, both of them have output, both of them are the best players at Liverpool and have been for a while, and both have won the same thing. So why is it that we don't have these conversations, or people don't come out and speak about Virgil, but they do it against Salah? Is it because he's a forward, or?
Yeah, I think it's the position. I think it's the position he plays, bro.
Yeah,
I think Virgil to me would be the best anyway, but he seemingly has less competition. And the reason why I say that is because the fact that everyone was so quick to say that Saliba's, I mean, some man was saying that Saliba's better than Virgil quick time, bro. That means Saliba didn't have to go through anyone else, bro. Like everyone just like, yeah, he's not better than Tarkowski and all them, man. I love Tarkowski, bro. I think he's cold, bro. But obviously he plays for the bums in it, so obviously no one ain't gonna rate it. But whereas Salah, it's that position and it's changed. It's not like it was right mid back in the day. It's right wing forward, and the people who have played in them positions, they're like him, and he's one of them, bro.
It's the aesthetics thing because you, like we said, Hazard always, every international break is always Hazard versus Salah and blah blah blah. That's like a running joke now. Like I feel like with Virgil as Savage, like I almost feel like Virgil's been on his own for time. Like
it's been ages, bro. It's been ages, bro.
Yeah, like the only season which he was injured for was when Diaz came and won the league with Man City. Outside and Diaz was the best defender in that season. Fair enough, I'll give you that. But since then, it's just always been like Virgil. So I feel like a general consensus just seems to wash over with someone like him that you can't put Virgil in debates with like, oh, is he? No, we know he's world class. Whereas Salah, as you say, man, it's aesthetics. Remember, man don't like Salah like the way he plays, which is
that's what it is, aesthetics.
But, yeah, like so
in
thinking other players like
in the same time period then, because Virgil and Salah have been together at Liverpool for near enough the same amount of time, right? So if we're saying Virgil, everybody that could possibly be compared to him because they were in good form, ultimately got disregarded because they didn't come close. So how many players came close, but you would say then were better than Salah in that time period?
To be fair,
because you talk about Hazard, and we've all kind of unanimously
gone,
not as good though. So okay, move on. So
Hazard one's weird anyway because him and Salah don't play in the same position. Salah's problem is he's getting compared to pretty much strikers, isn't it? It's not
because of his output.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because when they compare him to right wingers, Salah's probably since he's been there, it's probably the best one. Trying to think of the different teams and
just funny how we look at it, isn't it?
It is, and it's the same with when Gida said about Diaz and that for Man City. I think he's cold in defense. I think he's slow, but I think he's cold. But somehow, one season of Saliba just like, okay, all Man City defenders don't matter. While they're still winning the league and the Champions League, by the way, but they don't. It doesn't matter, brother. And I'm like, I get it that Guardiola rotates them a lot more than that. That doesn't mean they're not better than these. He works in it. Remember, like that season, what you're talking about when Diaz, it was lockdown season, when everyone was saying he was the best. And then the season leading up to us winning the league, man was trying to argue Laporte and Virgil, and then he got injured in it. And then it was like, if Laporte never got injured, then Liverpool would have struggled. And that. I'm like, no, we wouldn't have because we blew you out of the water in it. So it's one of them ones, man. Happy's right. Salah's name does pop up like that all the time. I think it's what G said, though. I think on the eye, consistently it's not pleasing as much as it used to be, so that's probably what it is. But
old school Salah, like Basel Salah, and that was on the eye, and the one at Rome and Roma Salah.
Fiorentina as well.
And Fiorentina, that Salah on the eye, I was like, wow, this brother was
it's cold.
He was cold, like he just looked cold. But I'm not saying he's gotten worse. It's just he's more about output now as he is necessarily about what he's doing. That's why we only see, I guess, these kind of goals once in a blue moon. And I'm talking the goals like the City goal or the Watford goals, or those are like every now and again he might throw those.
Or even curlers into the top corner, like he's not really hitting them much anymore, like the Roma goal and the one he scored not too long ago. But I hear that, but then when he picks out the forward with them through passes or the Trevella cross or whatnot, that ability. No one, like not many other people are doing that. Like the other week, he picked out Gakpo with his right foot. That's his weaker foot. Like take away the goals and assists, the amount of creation that he's getting in 90 minutes as well is at top level. So if you bring that into the fact, bring availability into the conversation and stuff as well. The thing with De Bruyne is he's been world class, but De Bruyne's always had half a season out, and then there's this build up. Oh, De Bruyne's coming back. De Bruyne's coming back.
Yeah,
everybody's tuning into his first game back. He's world class. He kills it, and everyone's like, "This is why he's so good. He's so missed." We never have that with Salah because he's always there. So when the world class before 90 minutes come, they've not come, and we've not seen him for a while. We've been watching 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Oh, 10 out of 10. But the all isn't as big. Because we've Salah's
Eminem. He's Eminem. That's what people do.
Eminem that's a great.
Eminem don't leave, so man just see him and that, and they're like, yeah, okay. Everyone's trying to say that this guy's the best in rap, and I'm like, well, he's been killing it since I was like 8, bro. So I mean, might be. Whereas Kendrick and them man have 4 years off and then come back with a couple tunes and that, and man are like, that's why he's the GOAT. I'm like, what?
That's true.
That's what it is, bro. And Cav, I swear, people don't like. I've been watching this lately with the Ballon d'Or as well. People don't like you being the best if they think it's because of default reasons. So if they think that Salah is the best at the moment because there's not many bad boy right wingers, instead of just going, "Why you're still the best?" They're like, "Nah, I don't know, man. I'd rather just not have a best right winger than say it's Salah because I don't like that." And that's what happened with the Ballon d'Or. Soon as this Ballon d'Or came across, everyone was like, rather just cancel the damn thing than pick somebody because this ain't what we
Do you know what it's like? You know when we do the player ratings and Virgil has like a good game, but we just like, just give him a 5 or 6. You're like, but no, he had a really good. No, he just standard in it. Virgil just that's the way the pundits probably look at Mo. They're like, Yeah, I just expect him to do this now. I don't really
Just
care
things
about
change, innit? And people don't like change when it's something they love so much, and we're guilty of it as well in football because we like what we like, innit? The football's changing, bro. You get me? Don't get me wrong, it's not changed completely where everything has to be stat driven and all that, but it does change. People don't like it. You think I want boring Rodri to win the Ballon d'Or? I couldn't, bro. I'm disgusted, bro. Boring as shit, bro. Boring as shit. Just running around playing like Guardiola, just passing the ball to people. And that. It's horrible, bro. I couldn't, bro. It's one of them when you're like, yo, you're cold still, but this is disgusting, bro. Man ain't trying to see.
You want to see Ronaldinho. You want to see like obviously I know we don't have that player now, but you know what I mean. Like you want to see those guys with the most boring player I think to even win these kind of things has to be like a Kaka, like where this is just a really really good player, but he's not Ronaldinho. He's not a Neymar. Like he's not that type of. He's not Messi. He's not Ronaldo. Like he's just a really really good player. Obviously,
you want to give it to the game changers, isn't it? When you go down the list of them, you want to go the game changers. They've affected. They seem to affect football culture in general. Like things change. Like Ronaldinho changed football in general, bro. Whereas these man and that, bro, ain't no kids trying to grow up to be Rodri, bro. No, they're not, bro. It's dead, bro.
But that's what Troy DD saying.
It's different because at least Salah's thing is whether it's consistent or not. Salah's thing is speed and agility and whipping the ball in the top corner and scoring goals. Kids want to do that. Kids don't want to run around. Just, I'm going to give the ball to you and get it back. I'm going to give the ball to you and get it back. Not a step over. No one likes that shit, bro. That is...
Sav, I got to stop you there. I got to stop you there because we all know En's walked onto the other cage and went, you know, recent Ballon d'Or winner, he's just getting the ball and giving it. You need to do a little bit more like that.
Because obviously the thing what they do now is, because of where he plays and stuff like that, obviously you can see that like Guardiola's just tried to turn man into Guardiola and that was boring.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. But Guardiola was a cold player, but it's boring as shit, bro. It's winding me up thinking about it because when I hear man mention Busquets and Rodri, I'm like, nah, don't get this fucked up.
No.
Busquets weren't boring.
No, he weren't boring.
Just because Messi was
extra. Do a step over and them things.
Yeah. And you used to do that drop of the shoulder turn all the time.
And they know them ones when he used to get the fouls here, but he was the dark arts fouls. He was like, and he would look up and you're like, bro, we know it's not a foul.
Yeah, there's that famous one in the El Clasico in that when he starts rubbing his cheek and that because he knows he fucked up. I'm like, that was dodgy, bro. Man tapped his shoulder and that he threw himself on the ground. But, yeah, man, that's what it is, bro. Man don't like that still. So it is what it is, bro. Football is changing and stuff like that. Opinions and all that business. Like what you like and enjoy what you enjoy of that, bro. But I have to like adjust. I don't want to, but you have to kind of adjust your standards of football because things change in it. I have to do it with movies as well. Otherwise, I just won't go to cinemas again, bro. Because they're shit. They're all shit, so I just have to lower my standard in it. Like, man ain't trying to be in the nightclub with the thing that's all right, but she's the sexiest in the nightclub. That's like prison officers, bro. Like a prisoner officer goes inside and that she's fired, bro, because she's the only thing, bro. When'd she get out? Man ain't trying to be with her, bro.
But let's stick on the Salah conversation still. Ryan Cherki, man, I keep seeing I like him as a player, an exciting player, by the way.
Exactly,
not as boring. Yeah,
exactly. Aesthetics.
But the but is because now every time we're linked with a player, I see the fan base go absolutely crazy. Sign him now, get him in now. The price is right.
What's this TV show?
I don't know, bro. Obviously, his team is obviously under administration right now. They need to find, I think it's 500 million or something by the end of the season. Or them man there. I mean, but them man there, I think he's around 25 million euros. But them man they're in big trouble, innit? I saw what their president said. He said, look, it's down to him. Obviously, he doesn't want him to leave in January, but if he wants to leave, he wants to leave, and there's nothing they can kind of do about it. How much do you guys know about the player? Would you think he's a good replacement for Mo Salah? Do you even rate him? Is he good enough? I think he's good. I don't know if he's good enough. I feel like he's been injured a few times, but it feels like he's just been about like Gravenberch. Yeah. It feels like he's just been here.
One thing about Cherki is man always mentioned his injuries and that. They're not even as bad as everyone thinks.
They're not. You're right.
It's because he I think he broke his ankle at one point and he was out for a bit, but he's actually not that injured. It's just like, I think, if I'm correct, when he got the injury, it was in COVID. The ankle, maybe.
Yeah.
So then it seemed like he was out for a bit, but that's just because man ain't trying to pay attention to that league and it Uber Eats and that, bro. So I think it's a baller, bro. I think when you mention replace Salah, that's always going to throw people off. You can't replace Salah in it. You can just get another player in his position, and they have to do something different. You can't replace him. Like you couldn't replace Mane either. It's what it is. So, is he good enough? I think so. I think he's techie in that. He's exciting. Yeah, he's not like a stat line. It's eye test, isn't it? He's techie. What it is, bro. And if they want to get him in, just let him know, like, yo, you want to come win the Prem and that, because you got a chance of doing it this season. Might as well come to the dark side now, blood.
So he's only got what, 1 goal, 1 assist so far this season in 7 games.
Yeah, you just kick some other out and put him in.
For me, he's the sort of player I'd have liked to have seen brought in whilst we still have Salah, and you know, and Salah can teach him effectively, because I think he's a player that, not that I've watched a lot of him, but probably needs a bit of refining, and he wouldn't be a direct replacement for Salah, but he would need to definitely work within the system. You know, he's got lots of quality and attributes he can bring to the team, but it would have to work within the team. And I do think that he'd probably need a period of time where he's not the main guy. He's the guy that can sort of play a part in the season, but then step in the following as the main guy. So whether or not that happens, let's say he comes in January, obviously that will, but if he came in the summer and Salah's not here, then I wouldn't like to see him as the direct replacement, although you know, I wouldn't.
I agree.
Like
if you get if it's a cut price, you buy him and you buy a winger, bro. That's what I would do. If it's a cut
we'd
price,
have to get rid of some players though, Stav, because we already got 6 attackers right now, innit? So wouldn't we have to? We buy him in the 10. You can play in the 10. That's true.
I mean, certain man ain't holding down that spot anyway. So
yeah, just leave him alone. I think you know when it comes.
Is he better than Elliot there?
I was just about to say, like, I like Cherki.
It's a great comparison.
Like he's my type of player in terms of the way he plays. I almost just think that Liverpool in general do not sign players like that, though. I can't even remember Thiago, if you want to call it someone like that, but we don't sign those kind of guys. And I don't know how that would fit into what Slot's trying to do. So I almost feel like I would love to see him. I would also love to see Musiala, but I don't even think, even if we had the money for Musiala or players like that, we would sign that type of player. Like Elliot actually seems like the closest you'll get to that type of player without being that type of player, because he's still got the ruggedness, the press, like he likes to, you know, run around, all that kind of stuff. But he's also quite good on the ball. He can thread the eye of the needle pass and stuff like that. Elliot is not my type of player. That's the thing. He's not my, like, I wouldn't pick an Elliot type of player, but Elliot is a good mix between the two. Curtis Jones, like, they're good mixes between the two of that kind of player and, you know, what we probably like to get. So yeah, listen, I would love Cherki, man. I think he's good, man. I really think he's good, but I just think, yeah, we gotta leave, you know.
I can't lie, because I'm not the manager, bro. I'm on just buying players, bro. I'm on it, bro.
Savage, bro. Don't get twisted.
Yeah. I don't care if he's better than Elliot or not better than Elliot. I love Elliot, I do. But I think, if anything, put Sabasla on the right-hand side and let them two have the middle, bro, the 10.
Or the left-hand side, bro.
Yeah, bro. Put him
to be killing it for Hungary on that side.
I mean, killing it strong. Watch Sabasla like kill it next year on the wing or some shit like.
Yeah, that's what I said. Put him on the wing and bring Cherki in and put him and Elliot in the 10, and they can do whatever there, innit? Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to hear
new striker. That'd be good, man. Yeah,
Slot, don't be boring, bro. You get me?
Would you like to see it for a game or two? You know, Szoboszlai in the 10. I mean, on the right wing or left wing.
But yeah, it can't be worse than the 10, can he? So
I was gonna say, yeah, it can't be any worse, like. So just throw him in there. See what he does.
Do you know, Enzo? I would because I'd like to see what Liverpool under Slot looks like without Salah, because for all of, you know, the plaudits for Slot this season, and rightfully so, where we sit, we have world-class players in our team. Virgil is still, you know, the best centre-back in the world. Salah's output and performances have been good this season. So part of me is intrigued to see if Salah leaves in the summer, do we still have the same feeling towards Slot? Because suddenly you've lost that star ability to get goals and assists. So I would kind of like to see where possible this season, and Southampton might be a good opportunity. Yeah, he obviously won't, but like if it came at a different point in the season against a team like that, I'd like to see, what Szoboszlai on the right with not Elliott, but maybe Jones in midfield looks like. How do Liverpool still look exactly the same but walk away with no goals? That's what I'd be intrigued to see. Does this team still rely on that star quality?
The West Ham we played without Salah. He came on eventually, like 17 minutes, but we played, and I think Chiesa played over there. And I'm with you, man. Listen, we know what the truth is, and replacing Salah isn't really replacing Salah. You lose Salah, and you need to buy a striker, bro. That's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact with you now, Savage, on that.
It's just that Salah falls from the right hand side, but realistically, the reason why Salah has to do so much input there is because our strikers don't. So to get a striker who's doing the same amount of work.
Both of our strikers on 2 goals so far this season.
Yuck.
Yeah, I think so. Man said yuck.
Hey, the strikers are striking, man. Combined 4 goals.
Clearly not for what you just said, bro.
Oh man, that's jokes. Still, one no one rates, and the other one's meant to be this lethal guy. They're both on the same.
Both on 2.
Well, I am on that, bro. Get a top class striker.
Yeah.
And then sort out the right wing in it, and I think that's what you do, man. That's all it is, bro. Cav's right, bro. Like replacing Salah's output kind of mad, but replacing what he can do as a right winger, you can replace that. But replacing the goals and stuff like that, it's the creative person in the team. But if you get a striker that can get you 30 goals a season and that, bro, then it does replace it, bro. And then the wingers can just do regular winger stuff. You get me? So
I'm assuming that when we think about who that might be, it's still a little bit of an unknown quantity.
Yeah, because Liverpool are stupid and let Elite go to Bayern Munich.
Kerkez exporting and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Who is there now? There's it's the standards of the trash in it.
If you want to get the best in it, he's the best currently in terms of form. So
who?
Kerkez.
So you got him and Isak and them man.
I like Kerkez, but when I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Just burned me. Like, I think it just burned me. I don't want no one over that side. So I'm like, find me someone else. Just get. The
reason, like, if you had to name the top 10 strikers in the world now, you struggle, bro.
Savage. I tried to.
That's terrible, bro. Because we've had periods where strikers who've been playing for like a team in 16th is still cold. Now you're struggling to do it. So
big up to Lennon, bro.
I'm trying to snatch like Ishak off Newcastle real quick or someone like that, bro. He's not as injured as everyone thinks. That's what I'm saying. Get in there first, bro.
That's our goal scorers in the Prem. 8 for Salah, 5 for Diaz, 2 for Jota, 2 for Nunes, 1 for Gabba.
I mean, the one thing I will say is those stats at this point of the season is like having Mane and Salah and Bobby, bro. Because Bobby would have been on like 2 goals in the middle. The difference is that them man ain't playing false 9. Like, especially Jota's had the chances this season. Obviously, he's been out. But there's a couple of chances that he missed, the easy ones. But yeah, man, it's for the future anyway. It's nothing to do with them being rubbish, bro. Like, obviously, we already know with Jota anyway, bro. Like, I mean, you always get someone in there because you can't rely on him staying fit. But yeah, man, it's one of those, bro. Not mad at it.
What about this guy here, boys, man? I don't know, man. I see everyone kind of running, running to him, Kerkez, to say he's the guy. We need to go and get in his bet. Is he better than TSIMIKAS and ROBBO as it stands currently?
Bro, yes. I think he's better than TSIMIKAS.
He's a good footballer, man. I think he's a bit overrated, but that don't mean he's rubbish. You're just gassing him out too much, bro. But he's good.
It's Liverpool fans, bro. I promise you, it's just because of the way that we speak about.
Oh yeah, well, if he turns us down and goes to Arsenal, bro, man will shut up real quick about him.
Bro, like all of a sudden, bro, yeah, he's so fucking shit.
That's what man did about Calafiori, bro. As soon as Calafiori went to Arsenal, they're like, yeah, he ain't even that good anyway, bro. He's got nice hair.
But what do you guys like? Honest opinion, because obviously I know we're probably going to go and look at left back. I think we should do in the summer anyway. I don't think it's a priority to get in January. But if is either like the standards we go for, like I see a couple of comments from people in the spaces and stuff like he's exactly what Liverpool need. Nasty looks like one of those players. He's aggressive on the front foot. Is he that type of player that we definitely need? Is that what we've seen on his slot needs in the left back so far from what we've seen?
Do you know? I think there's a handful of options Liverpool could look at when they think about getting a new left back. But I think out of the ones when you think about Aït-Nouri, Robinson, I think this guy from not having watched much, I think he's the closest to how Robertson has played for Liverpool. Because Aït-Nouri is a great ball carrier, good dribbler, comfortable on the ball, can go by people, right? Slight frame, but got good balance, low center of gravity, and what have you. Robinson's pacey and a bit more direct up the line, whereas I feel like Kerkez is a little bit of a hybrid. Not better than them at those attributes I said, but a bit more of a rounded player and a bit closer to what Robertson was. Predominantly left foot, strong in the challenge, will go to ground and win clean duels. You know, physically, you know, I don't know how tall he is, but I think he's not far off 6 foot, 6 foot, whatever. Seems to got a bigger frame on him. So I know Robertson's he's only played the season with Slot, obviously, and I'm not going to say Robertson is what Slot wants. But if you say Robertson's been the best left back in the Premier League for a long time, and you know it's only because of maybe age and minutes in the legs and the injury and lack of pre-season that's actually meant he's not performed as expected this season, then I'd probably look at Kerkez or Kerkez, however you say it, as like the closest kind of player to him in terms of profiling. Whether he's good enough or not, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, kind of reiterating the same thing I said about strikers when I look at the standard out there. Not saying that all these players are rubbish, of course not, bro. I just feel like the standards are lower anyway, which is fair enough because when we got Robertson from Hull, the standards were low. Yeah. My man wouldn't have chose him, innit? So it's not that he can't change. It's kind. I kind of can't gather what Slot wants from his left back as such yet. I know that he's happy with Robertson going into he ends up in this number 10 position sometimes in that, and clearly Slot wants that. But obviously Robertson's not as good on the ball in them positions, so it's kind of a waste of time. You know what I mean? Unless so my pick's always going to be Robinson from Fulham. It's never going to change, bro. I think for me that's the best left back in the league.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's the best.
You got him ahead of Aït-Nouri?
Yeah. I think it's better than him, bro. But again, it depends what you want. Because seemingly everyone's going for this left back who can play centre back nowadays, isn't it? Don't know if that's what Slot wants to, but yeah, I think
he's you're right. Every other, not every other team, but obviously Man City kind of do it. But I think he just went into that, you know, with Gravado. I think he just kind of fell into that trap of just playing him there. I think
because Pep likes a smaller team, innit? So he gets a smaller team, get a versatile player.
And then you've got Arsenal. Obviously, they, you know, Arteta just follows whatever Pep does, don't he? So I don't even know if that's even Arteta's own mind that he's decided to go and get a centre back that can play left back. And then straight away, the rest of the world just goes, nah, Liverpool should go and do that as well. That makes sense. I'm like, no, not really, because we can still just go and get an actual left back and still go.
Because I think Gvardiol's cold, but I think he's overrated as well. I thought it before Man City got. I thought in the World Cup as well. I think he's still overrated, and I feel like if he wasn't out here scoring screamers, he wouldn't be spoke about as much. Because I remember last season when, brother, I watched these Man City games and I remember Pep Guardiola taking him off in the first half, bro, because he was shit, bro. I think it was against Palace when De Bruyne's first came back. He was rubbish, bro. He was getting torn up, bro. And man, every time people mention him, they're not mentioning his defensive work to me. They're just mentioning that he's scoring goals. Yeah, he was a striker as a kid, bro. He can rasp one in the top bins, but obviously, like I said, if you have a smaller squad, then having loads of players who can play right back and centre back and left back and centre back means that Man City always have defenders available. Always. Akanji, Ake, all of them, bro. Stones can play midfield now, so they've got that as well. But I don't know if that's what Slot wants. If Slot just wants a designated left back and stuff like that, then talking something different. I do think Kerkez is a really good footballer, though. But I just think he's a bit overrated, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, it's loads of gas.
It's mad, yeah. I'm looking at the chat, and obviously big up everyone in the chat. Like, you're naming players. I'm like, Savages, right? No disrespect, but some meaty names like the list that everyone's throwing out isn't like we haven't got like an abundance of like top. You know, like you mentioned there about Robertson, when we signed him, but we were a crap team back then. We were still working our way, like we had Moreno and that, so we were still working to a level. Remember, we wasn't at any level. We were just trying to work ourselves up to a base of top 4 team, and to be honest, Liverpool have kind of moved mad quick when you think about it. Outside of maybe the first year or two of Klopp. We've kind of just been on this go up every level. Or cool, get to Champions League final with that team. Then the next year we're challenging for the title. The next year we're winning the title. The next, like, it's all been very quick. So I feel like now we're at a base level where everyone can say, no, Liverpool are top team, blah, 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 outside of that one season finished 5th. I feel like the players that we should be looking for, like you, Savage, I'm with you. I'm like, nah, I'm trying to see some real quality coming to the team. I'm not saying these players are not quality, by the way, but like I'm associating quality with, like, nah, we're talking about, like, you know, the big guys, like, you know, like the, I don't know how to explain it, like the ballers, if it's probably the best way I can say it, like, of players out there. And some of the names I'm seeing us linked with, none of them are of like top class level. They're just like, yeah, they're decent, they're good, they can get there. Is that what we're looking for? Is that what Slot? Maybe he thinks he's already got that now.
Yeah, because obviously that's what they get paid the big money for, innit? So I would hope to be wrong. In fact, I must be wrong because
of course.
They're all professional footballers, so they have to be good at. It's just at the moment when I'm watching them and that, even when I watch loads of football, so I'm watching these games and that, and these men ain't standing out to me. Like, I'm not watching any. Bournemouth. When I watch Bournemouth games and that, I'm not like, oh my god, it's Kerkez, he's killing it, bro. I don't think that. Like, the standards for me are just different. But I don't think it's everyone's got rubbish. I think all the managers decide to play football a lot different. So now that kind of what Robertson and Trent was doing doesn't stand out as much anymore because man ain't doing it, bro. If Cancelo came back to this league, he'd be the best left back, bro.
Yeah. See, I think Ryan Aït-Nouri for me is the one where I know Wolves have had a tough start to the season, fixtures and results, but and they took some goals, but I've seen enough. I've seen enough from him to think actually there's some ability there that I would like to see if I was picking a player to come to Liverpool. He's the one for me that I think, especially with trying to play out from the back and having your defenders comfortable on the ball, moving into midfield if need be, even if it's not a permanent thing to overload, just to receive the ball, you know, comfortable on both feet, can ride a challenge and beat a direct press and things like that. I just think probably ties in with what Slot's trying to do a little bit more. And I agree with that. I think more emphasis is going to be on the midfielders to get in. You know, in years gone by under Klopp, it's the forwards that have to get goals. I think that the midfielders are going to be asked to chip in with more goals, which means I think that we've got to be able to progress between the lines and up the pitch a bit better to get the midfielders in them spaces. Because for all Gravenberch's great work, it's in the deeper areas of the pitch. Whereas if you had a left back that's a bit more comfortable on the ball and you can progress out through him a bit better, then maybe you could push your midfielders a little bit further up, so they're in, you know, for areas where they can get more assists and goals potentially. You know, it depends. The game's going different ways, but you're just thinking about stylistically if we're progressing out from the back. So that's where I think for me, Ryan Aït-Nouri would be the one where I just think he's a good outlet, even as a left back, just trying to build out from the back of it. So Robinson, I think with his pace, with his getting up the wing, his crosses into the box, you know, his recovery pace and stuff as well is an important factor in all of these things. But I don't know, I just feel like I'm with you. I've not been wowed by many people, but I have seen performances from Aït-Nouri where I'm like, yeah, I like that. I like that. Can we take that half an hour spell, bring it to Liverpool, make it work in our system, and create a player that can do that for 90 minutes or close enough to? And I think if we achieve that, then we create one of the best left backs.
I do agree with that. I think if you bring him to Liverpool, you get 7 out of 10 defender, but offensively he's going to cook, and he'll get different types of goals and assists that Robertson will get, because when Robbo gets into that position, he's usually just going to give a simple pass because if he shoots, you know what's going to happen. And Nori gets in that position, he'll probably finish on like 5 goals and 10 assists or something at Liverpool because of the position it's in. But then it's like, which is another question. It depends if you keep Trent in it, because if you can't have it, him and Trent doing the same thing, bruv, Konate's legs are gonna fall off, bruv. So
yeah, true. And also as well, you know, we can't see it now, but let's say Virgil signs a 3-year contract. At the end of them 3 years, he might not be able to cover a left back as well as he can now. You know, he might be screaming his left back to stay a bit tighter to him. So there's that to factor in.
Yeah, it's true.
Fairs. Was that G's phone ringing, bro? What kind of ringtone is that, bro? Is that the trap thing?
It's the ringtone that comes with the phone, and I don't know what the trap thing is. And I also don't know what you're trying to imply by that as well. That's quite dangerous.
That's his alarm. He's got to go get his porridge.
Yes. First of all, I don't eat porridge.
Porridge, you know. What do you guys
And
think?
do you eat porridge?
Sorry?
And do you eat porridge?
Of course,
Yeah,
Ems
yeah.
eats porridge. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Of course, he eats porridge.
Some of us
Why
want
did
to
you, why
grow,
did you
man.
say, why did you say it like that, Cub?
No, I just feel like he'll be too cool for porridge nowadays. That's all.
I hear it.
I bet wait, hold on a minute. Do you put milk in first, or do you warm? What's your process? Do you warm up the milk?
I drink cool meal porridge.
You bring what?
Say that again.
Drink cool meal porridge. Different to your normal.
Yeah, it's a whole
porridge,
process on it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
different. I told you, you had to be cool with it. You had to style it out.
Yeah,
Just porridge.
no, we drink proper porridge, man. Not that fake stuff. Apparently, Chiesa has been linked with Inter Milan on a little young loan. Apparently, he's unhappy, bro. I keep hearing this. I don't know where it's coming from. People just making shit up. And obviously, apparently, he's another one of the attackers on the list, bro. How long have we been linked with him, though?
He's a baller, bro.
Since Dortmund days.
He's a baller, bro. His legs are always falling off realistic, but I love him. I do. I think it's cold, bro. But his legs can't last, bro.
No, then he'll fit in. Yeah, he'll definitely fit in there.
What do you guys make of the two of those, man? Obviously, Chiesa, we still haven't seen him yet. We don't know what's going on with him. Mini preseason, the last time I saw anything around him.
I think both things are lies, bro. They are, bro. They're both lies because before the international break, they asked Slot about Chiesa and him being linked, and he was all surprised in that. And he's like, I wouldn't listen to any of that. Like, I don't know where that's come from. He's happy. So that tells me what the manager said, doesn't it? And as for Pulisic, the last time I heard him speak was literally before the international break on CBS, and he was happy as shit at AC Milan, bro. He had just murdered it, Real Madrid. So he's happy there as well.
What was that?
Let's talk about it again. So yeah, I mean,
so he looked at that replay button. Murder Real Madrid, he said.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. But baller though, absolute baller, man. He's LeBron James of soccer, bro. Come on, man.
Well, because he's American.
No, that's the whole thing. Have you never seen that clip?
Yeah, I've seen. That's the maddest thing about it.
What clip?
Kev, there's a famous meme of Pulisic in it in that that pawn shop program where they sell stuff in America and that, and then one of the guys.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. And then describing who he was as a footballer. yeah. Sorry. Oh god. I think the time's passed. But I think, yeah, like you said, G, when he was back at Dortmund, and then he goes to Chelsea, doesn't he? I think we all kind of felt a little bit like we missed out on a player there because the talent was there to see. And I'm trying to remember back to when he went to Chelsea, and I think my feeling was that he was going to be like the next Hazard. That he was the closest thing to him, and that's what they were going to get. But actually, turns out to be a slightly different player, different career. He's still playing. So that's worked out differently. But I think the time's probably passed with him. Like Savage said, the injuries is one thing. I'm not sure how old he is now, though. I'm not sure if you guys know off the top of your head.
Pulisic is, 28, I think?
It feels like he's been around for time, doesn't it?
Yeah, he was there for... No, man.
I'll tell you about late
Actually, 26, 27. Yeah, about 27.
It's got to be around that, isn't it? It's got to be around
about 27.
Yeah, but I just think the boat. Yeah, well, when you look at his actual age, that's probably not true. But I don't know. My just feeling towards him is that you almost feel for the player like he's in a good spot. Just stay there.
Yeah. That's what I thought when I saw him the other day. I was like, yeah, he kind of fits in here, man. He's got that about him. So yes. I mean, all I know is every time we play Liverpool, they cooked us, bruv. So.
Oh yeah, did he score against us this season?
Yeah.
Was it this?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, rifled it into the bottom left. Yeah.
This guy. Just to kind of wrap up the stream, boys. Premier League's back, obviously. I'm not going to ask you guys for obviously like anything around Liverpool. Mainly from our rivals, innit? Arsenal. They're obviously at home against Forest, and then Man City got to play Spurs, but Man City are at home as well. Do you guys see Arsenal and City dropping more points this weekend? Do you think it's back to normality, them just smoking teams again?
Could be. Chris Wood is on smoke.
I I think Arsenal drop points again and City win.
Arsenal drop points.
I think
Yeah, I can see that.
again.
They've got
Who Arsenal
United got that weird thing going on, bro. I think they lost the last game. Maybe was it Newcastle or someone like that?
Who
But
do you talking about? Arsenal.
Nottingham, they lost.
Oh,
the last
Nottingham. Yeah, they lost to Newcastle.
Yeah. But they got that confidence thing going on, and everyone seems extra happy. They seem like they feel like something can happen, whether it does or not. That doesn't really matter, bro. But I don't think they're worried about playing against anyone, bro. And all them little fast players they've got, bro, that can just bring off the bench and that they're mad excited and that Hudson-Odoi's finally getting a run of games and playing football again. Remember, he was spoke about so much back in the day.
Yeah.
So people like him, Elanga's been cooking. I love Elanga; he's cold, man. But all those kind of players in that, man. So yeah, and then as Cav said, bro, Chris has been killing it, bro. Chris is cold anyway, though, bro. Old school striker.
Player of the month, isn't he? So he's
man.
Oh, you got player of the month, yeah.
You got player of the month. Yeah, him and Nuno.
It's a funny thing. Midlands teams. Maybe I'm biased, but when Midlands teams do well, they do really well, and they go on good patches of form. And I think it's partly because they're so much better than everybody else around them. So, like for Forest, they're better than Leicester. They're better than Coventry. You know, they're probably not better than Villa, but like, you know, they're better than so many teams immediately around them that they're like the giants of the Midlands, so to speak. And then you've got all the London clubs away. It was why when Villa do so well, they're better than the Blues, they're better than West Brom, they're better than, you know, all them teams around them as well. That the talk around these parts is, you know, that they walk with their chest held high. You know, they're the big boys of the northern, not the northern teams, but like the Midlands teams. And I think it goes some way towards their confidence, you know, because even though Coventry ain't in the Prem and Leicester, you know, going through a torrid time and what have you, it's a little victory for them, you know, to be doing well in the league, you know, as a club that's performing above expectation, but also just around their local area, to say they're better than everybody else immediately in their environment is a big thing.
They'll be dangerous, man, because when a team like that who was struggling the previous season on the verge of relegation and stuff, when you start a season like this, you're halfway, maybe 60% to already being safe in the league, and so that means once you've done that halfway, we might as well try something else. We might as well try and go for, and you know, slowly what might happen. I'm not saying it's gone to, but they're in position they're in now. They could lose a couple of games and then drop into that 10th position and that, but not be far away from conference, and then they'll start creeping up. And as the season goes on, they'll be like, "Yo, let's just go for the Europa League." We've seen Brighton do it before. We've seen Burnley do it before, and the Daesh, they got 7th, I think. So that will be massive for them. And they are a team that can dip back into their history, bro. Like, if you've already got it there, it gets the fans up very quick. And they've got the European giants in it, man, back-to-back Champions Leagues and that, bro. So they'll dip back into that. Clough and them, man. The banners will come out. They love it, bro. So I won't put it past them still. And that's why I think, don't get me wrong, if this was at Forest, I'd be like, Forest are going to win the game, innit? But it's at the Emirates. But I think they can give an upset, maybe a draw, or an Arsenal win. But I think Man City will beat Spurs.
Is it new? It's Nuno at Forest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good manager, Nuno. I thought he did well at Wolves before he moved on. And I think fair play to him. He's been.
Where did he go from Wolves? Saudi? You go Saudi Arabia?
Saudi and then got left there, bro.
Yeah.
No, I remember he was at Spurs as well.
He got bro.
No, but didn't he go?
Can't see him being a coach of one of the top clubs come in for.
He went to Spurs first and then
just below maybe the top 6. He's probably one of the better managers.
Yeah, I agree.
But looking at this,
and the thing with him at Wolves.
Go on,
sorry, I was just going to say, the thing with him at Wolves, obviously, he was Portuguese, brought in a lot of Portuguese players. Kind of felt like he was just doing up one thing over there, you know, trying to get in players that he's, you know, scouted and players that his immediately staff know about, local players and all these kinds of things. But actually, by going Forest, he's demonstrated actually that wasn't the case, and he's actually just a very decent manager. So
No, I'm saying, looking at the table, I was mentioning the other day about Arsenal, and you know, everyone's like, nah, it's only 9 points off of Liverpool. But I'm just looking in and around them. If they drop points again, they can end up even 8th, maybe even 9th. Because down to 9th, everyone's just 1 point off each other. It's literally a point.
Yeah, bro. I swear, Arsenal fans think that we're trolling all the time. But when you watch their games, the problem they have against them other teams is they don't look like they're going to score unless it's a set piece, bro. I swear to you, bro. They don't look like they can produce a goal out of these positions unless it's like a little dodgy, scrappy goal and that. So for that reason, when I'm seeing the other teams, you got my man at Nottingham killing it up front. You know what I mean? Then Brighton have got João Pedro back now. He's exciting to watch play football and stuff like that. I like João Pedro. Fulham have got goals coming in from everywhere. Yeah, Wilson and all that. Everyone's killing it.
Everyone's chipping in.
You get me? Newcastle got Isak and them, man. So when you go down, and then obviously Villa's got flipping Watkins and Duran and all that. So that's the reason for me when I watch Arsenal, I'm like, this ain't gonna be sustainable, bro. I get it. Realistically, like, I don't want to be that guy, but fair play to them for using the system. But their set pieces and that, bro. The stuff they do on their set pieces shouldn't even be allowed, bro. I don't know how they get away with it, to be honest. So
when you just go up to the line, but you don't cross it.
It's very weird. Remember they used to do the thing as well. Like the previous season, the tactic was to waste time. Like they wouldn't take their throw into that for ages. And now they're trying to do it with their goal kicks and that, and they're getting booked for it now. It's not working anymore. And I feel like with all the refereeing stuff, what's just happened, they might start looking at them things a little bit more, bro, because they literally, I know their tactic off by heart now. And especially when it's a corner, them man someone's always holding the goalkeeper, bro. Like always.
Yeah, mad, bro. And I'm like, no one's gonna the referee ain't gonna give that.
Bro, if you watch the Arsenal Spurs game when they ended up winning the game of Gabriel's header, bro, watch what Saliba's doing to, I think it's Saliba or Havertz, bro. You watch what he's doing to Vicario, bro, who crumbles on corners anyway. Man, just holding him. Just holding him, push him into the goal and that. There's a mad tactic still, but he works on it. So until he gets called out, they might as well just do it. And they've got great piece takers in Saka and Rice.
But look, they've got. I know Trossard is now injured for them, so he's another one that's fell to the wayside. But Saka didn't go international duty. Odegaard didn't go. Declan Rice didn't obviously go as well. So they're probably going to have these guys fit and available maybe for this game. I don't know the extent of Saka's injury. I know, what was it, a broken toe that Declan Rice had or something like that? Or they were saying that the reason why it was that. I don't know how quickly that kind of heals up to kind of play in this game, or do they just rest it and then wait?
Just get to it and play.
That's what he did against Chelsea, but then they took him off.
Because if it's depending on what toe it is and that, sometimes that shit never heals properly, bro. So just inject it and play and that, bro. It's kind of crazy still. I don't know. Arsenal, Odegaard's massive for them being back in that.
Because when he came up against
Chelsea, he's injured, isn't it? Saka is injured all the time, bro. Like even when he plays, he's injured, bro.
Because what did he do? Was it he tweaked his groin or something like that in his last game, wasn't he? I don't know. He was just running, then he overstretched, and then I see him just sat down, and he was like, "Yeah." And then
we knew that as Liverpool fans, innit? Because when they played him against us, bro, they rushed him back at that point. You just knew get as much as you can against Liverpool. And I said he's going to crumble after this. And you saw him in the second half against us. Non-existent, bro. Yeah, man. I feel bad for the kid, man. He ain't going to make it, bro. I promise. If they keep Arteta as their manager for it going forward, he ain't going to make it because he has to. I told you he's got that Salah contract in it where he has to play all the time, bro. Salah's fit all the time, bro. But he ain't.
Just looking at like all the teams in and around like Arsenal, and like they're saying Liverpool's the one, but you've got Chelsea even alongside you. Ready to kind of, and they've got a really good squad. They've got loads of young, talented players, and they can just rotate an 11, as you can see in that other cup that they play in. But I think they don't realize how difficult it's going to be. I think they just think, oh yeah, as long as we have everyone fit, we'll just win games and then we're fine.
Chelsea are a strange team.
Very strange.
Still don't know what to make of Chelsea, bro. Like defensively, they look crash. Attacking, they look great sometimes. Too many players.
You say that, Savia, and then you look at they've conceded one more goal than people would say Arsenal has a good defense, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they just look shaky though. Arsenal don't look shaky in defense. Chelsea look shaky, and obviously, I count the goalkeeper as part of the defense in it, and he's off his head. He is, bro.
Oh, Sanchez.
Yeah, he's off his head, bro.
But I would say we've probably seen the best of Arsenal where we haven't seen the best of Chelsea yet. And not to say that Arsenal are at their best. Obviously, they're not. You know, we expect them to improve, especially with Odegaard and coming back. But this Chelsea side, especially with Lavia and Caicedo in the midfield, if they can continue to perform together, that's a really good partnership in the middle of the park, which they can chop and change the wingers and forwards ahead of them and stuff. Obviously, you know, Cole Palmer's probably a mainstay, but like with those two, who are usually players that stay fit, got good engines on them, will work hard. If they can build that partnership, Lavia's had some good games this season as well. He's starting to show the player that we all thought he would be when we tried to get him. I think they've got a really good base there in the midfield. I don't understand their shaky defense, but they're a team that probably still can yet improve. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's early days, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Arsenal and Chelsea quite close together come the end of the season. To be honest, it could go the other way. Chelsea could just be a really good moment for them and they fall away. But I just feel like they've got so many. It's obvious thing to say, got so many players, but actually Enzo's, I think, got clear ideas to what his starting 11 is. The good thing is that they can then chop and change in players as and when they need. Arsenal haven't got that, so I think it's interesting their current positioning because it might not be too dissimilar at the end of the season.
They got a whole other squad as well, innit, for the cup. For the Conference League, so completely.
Bro, you a whole new team, bro.
The whole different squad and playing against like Noah's Ark and that, bro. Like they're laughing.
Bro, I see some players I've never seen before. But I'm like, who is this done? He's just
they signed Dewsbury Hall and I see him playing.
I'm telling you, bro. Bare biblical names they're playing against in that Conference League, bro. Like they're laughing, bro. They're laughing.
Looking at the fixtures. No, I was saying about it might be Arsenal not real. Like Chelsea are playing Leicester. They're not in the top 10. Obviously, Arsenal playing Forest. They're battling it out for.
Villa's going to beat Palace in that game.
Yeah, and then you got Villa, Palace ain't in there, so that's that. Brighton is in that top 10, but Bournemouth isn't, so they win their game. Go down. Fulham, Wolves ain't in it. Fulham is there. Obviously, Man City, Spurs. That's the other two. Liverpool, Southampton. That's fine. And then Newcastle play West Ham. So literally all the teams apart from the Arsenal, Forest. All the other teams are playing teams that's below the top 10. So if they all go and win their games and Arsenal don't, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the weekend, Arsenal could find themselves 8th or 9th.
Yeah. If
they don't win their game.
And do you think psychologically that'll have a big impact on them if they find themselves so low down?
Oh, massive.
Because they've been running on emotion and momentum for a couple of years now, and you can have a bad bit of form, but if you get 12, 13 games into the season, not far off the halfway point, and you're not even in the top 4, that can be a bit draining, I think, for them, because they'll look around in the changing room and they'll think, Jesus, there's only 13 of us that are really playing, and we've got to change it. No one else is coming back really from injury to change this. It's just we've got to improve, haven't we? And we've got to improve with this now huge expectation, but then also no history of winning anything, so we can't fall back on experience. So that when we go through bad form or Man City go through bad form, we can fall back on what made us great, what made us successful. We've got things to look back on. They haven't, and that's why I still think for Man City's recent form and results, they've just got the know-how. They'll dust themselves down and they'll be like, right, we're going into this mode now, and we'll just win by any means for the next few games, or we'll just go with this tactic no matter what, all the criticism, and then we'll play ourselves back in. I wouldn't be surprised to see Man City just roll out a very similar 11 for the next few games and just go back. This is the way we're going. We're going Doku. We're going Doku on the wing. We're just going to be unpredictable up front. Just get the ball into Haaland. That's what we're doing for the next few games, because that's what we know is going to get us results, even if it's not the way we want to play. And then they fall back because they've got that experience of being successful in it, whereas Arsenal don't. Arsenal have to go with Havertz, Odegaard, Saka. There's no change from that. Trossard's now out. They have to go Martinelli. Yeah. So those guys will be looking at each other up top and go, if we don't improve, we're out of this in the next few games. And that's quite a lot of pressure for people that ain't won anything.
You got the bench. Sterling coming on, right? If on the bench.
Yeah, they don't even play him. They hardly play him.
Yeah, they don't play him.
I know Arsenal's fan base and Arsenal, the team, are two different things. So obviously, whatever the team thinks is different. From the fan base, they're in denial already, bro. And I don't think they'll be able to take any more drop points. I think they could maybe justify Liverpool and Man City for the rest of the season. Any other team to them is head loss, bro. It's gone.
Mm.
And they're banking on at the moment, even if you go listen to any of them, they're banking on the fact that, well, we played all these difficult games, but we played them away. That's what they're thinking. So in their head, they're like, as long as we don't lose any games and get to the other half of the season, when Liverpool and Man City have to play all these teams away, we'll be playing our games at home. That's what they're banking on. That's not football, though, and it doesn't work like that, bro. And they're definitely going to drop points again, 100%. And I don't think they'll be able to take it, man. And I feel like Arteta's best bet is, because he's banking on Champions League football still, of course. That's not even a given with Arsenal. I know it seems like it is because of the last 2 years. It's not a given with the other teams coming up. And then he's in these other cup competitions. And if he doesn't take them serious, it's a long day for
Are they
Arteta.
still in the Carabao?
Yeah, they're in the next round with us.
Yeah, and then FA Cup ain't started yet. So he's got to win. He's got to go and do well in one of them trophies, isn't it? He has to, bro. And obviously they lost their last game in the Champions League. Not that it matters too much, but they did do that there. Listen, that's the only thing what's going to benefit. They're going to have a trophy run somewhere, bro. In the league, I don't see it, bro. They can bank on that all they like, bro. But as I said, for Liverpool, it's not bias. It's what I see. It doesn't look like Liverpool's going to lose a game, bro. Now, drop a point, yeah, well, maybe. Draws, run out of time in a game where we can't get the extra goal. But lose a game, it doesn't look like it, bro. That's why that Forest game had to be such a shock. It was towards the end of the game. Shocked us, ran out of time, couldn't get the goal, bro. I don't think it will happen. I don't think it will happen. It's possible, but I don't think it will happen again. So.
And if that's what they're banking on, I said it when we did the show the weekends. If that's what they're banking on, they're forgetting the fact that if you have Liverpool or Man City in a title race come the turn of the year, it doesn't matter who you put in front of them teams. They'll beat them all because once they've got a sniff at the title, the crowds get behind them and they'll feel inferior to. They'll beat everybody. So if Liverpool have got tough fixtures, unless they're literally playing Man City in April, everybody else that they come up against, Chelsea, Spurs, any side that Liverpool come up against, if they've got a chance at a title come February, April, May, they'll most likely win. Because they'll most likely win anyway. But with that momentum and Anfield just picking up, it don't matter the fixture. It really does.
I'm starting to feel it as well. Anfield, I think in the last 3 to 4 games, I feel like the fans are starting to like, right, we're here now. Before, it used to be like, boy, you're too loud, you're too quiet, sorry. There's no energy really in the stadium. But now you're just seeing them like singing the songs and it's loud now. So either there's a slightly bit more belief now from the fan base, or you know what I mean, the player they're now just going, okay, we see what you're doing now on the slot. We see.
I think the rivals dropping points and us taking advantage is what got Anfield doing that, bro. Because we've been in a position before where the rivals have dropped points and we haven't. So there was a bit of trepidation before the game, and then we did it, and then we did it again the week after, and then they're like, "Well, okay, even if I don't even enjoy the football as much as I think I enjoy winning, though, so let's run it." And then Slot, he himself, because I know everyone's making an opinion on his complete personality already. He doesn't care about this. He's ruthless. He's cold and all that. I don't think he is, bro. I don't think he is, because I've been trying to look at stuff from him at Feyenoord and that. Man's a passionate manager, bro. Like, that's why he mentions Feyenoord all the time, bro. And I told you the first time I saw Slot, when I noticed him, was against Atletico, bro. And he was on the pitch trying to argue Simeone wanted to fight him in that, bro. That's not a calm guy. The other week, we spent with the referee. You get me? He's been booked twice. He's not a calm manager, bro. So I feel like him going, and the way like the game finished, and he kind of addressed the fans after the game when they were going crazy, because for him, he's probably thinking, yeah, you man told me about this Anfield crowd. I ain't seen it, bro. Like, it's lies, bro. So when they asked him after, he's mad shocked by it. And now he sees that there's a bit more cohesion between the fans and the manager, bro. I think it's a lot, bro. Listen, it's one of those, man. As Cav said, we got to know how Arsenal's best run for about 20 years was last year. And that was, I think, in the last 18 games of the season, they won 16, I think, and lost 1 and drew 1. They had to do that because Man City was right behind them, innit? So is it possible they can do it again? It's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. The problem they've got, forget looking at City, we're the ones at the top of the table. And what, we're 9 points ahead of them?
9, yeah.
Okay, so if we go on a run and they go on a run, we both win 10 games in a row, we're still 9 points ahead of them. They're screwing, bro. When you go on a run, you want the team above you to have dropped points on it. You don't want to get to the end of the run. Oh, we've won 12 games in a row now. I'm in Liverpool 12. Okay. And now
That
we
was
can't
always
have-
the problem with us and Man City.
that was it. We won. Remember
you-
that when we was 14 points behind them, and then they got to the last game of the season, then they beat Villa, bro. You know how exhausting that must have been for the man. Them, bro.
Oh,
And that's us trying to go for 4 trophies as well. No wonder man looked so tired after, bro.
Yeah, next season,
imagine
man,
catching up
give
with
us the time off. Give us the year off, bro.
Because all the Liverpool fans were saying that the league was over, innit? So
mm.
they ain't got the fans behind them like that. But we're in the Champions League and the League Cup, FA Cup, and stuff. And then you're like, you know what? We might be able to do it here. Then you start telling yourself stories. Then we all told ourselves the story before it happened of, well, they got Gerrard as the manager, Coutinho's blah blah. This we were saying that with months to go, bro.
It was perfectly written. It was
perfectly. So then when you get to that point, and then we see Coutinho score a goal, like, whoa, what's going on? And then we're playing Wolves, and then we can't score a goal, and I'm dying and that. I'm like, this is ridiculous, bro. So obviously, how draining that is, and then you still have to go and play Champions League final and all that. And then you got the police in Paris trying to kill our fans and that, bro. Pepper spraying, man. Bro, it's long still. I would delay to the game and that, bro. It's long, and then Courtois comes out with his super serum and that, saving everything. It's a long day, bro. So and Arsenal don't know about that, bro. Imagine Arsenal got to the point last season, and all of us Liverpool. Every time there's a content creator having Liverpool and Arsenal on the panel and that, and all of us Liverpool fans are sitting back like, we're out the title race, bro, but you, man, ain't City's gonna fuck you lot up, bro. And they're just looking like that.
That's what I kept saying.
We've won our last 12 games and that, like, yeah. I hear it, bro. I remember somebody made a skit. I think it was Paddy Power, bro. There's some creepy Liverpool guy in a pub with his beer and that, and he's like, "You'll never learn." And he tells them the whole story about chasing City. I'm like, bro, it's gonna happen, and it happened, bro. And now they're petrified. They know, bro. They can do
but
all
this
this.
Is the thing.
It's crazy.
I think this is partly why Liverpool, the crowd did get going, was because yes, we capitalised directly on a couple of bad results from City. But the only time that any team has ever beat Man City in recent history was when they had a gap early on, and they managed to sustain it throughout and let that momentum carry on. That was us in 1920, right? If you get into a dogfight with them and you don't get clear, you don't win. And that's been the result. That's been the outcome. So suddenly now we're like, you never expect to be 5 points ahead of City at any point in the season. So the minute you are, this is the only chance you have at beating them. So now we need to get behind this. Now we need to push it. And let's face it, right? Liverpool every single week for years have been capable of beating the side that come out in front of them. In my opinion, yes, there's been a few tactical mistakes we've made along the way. The main thing is why we don't win games and win titles is because for some reason we just don't turn up. For whatever reason, we have the team, we start playing football, and it's like, where the hell is the energy? Where's the tempo gone? Where's the momentum? And I can't explain it. And that's where that's where the crowd will come into play. That's where the momentum will come into play. We don't need to wait for a bad challenge to get us going. We don't need to wait for a bad refereeing decision to get us going. The crowd can help get these players going and make sure that they're getting up for it. And if they think they've got a chance at a title, that should be enough momentum to get them going. I do think with that little push, that's really going to aid the team in proper putting a challenge together, because they've got all the quality in the squad to be able to do it. So, and we know that Slot's a shrewd manager.
We need to win, obviously, this weekend. Obviously, get Southampton out of the way as quickly as possible, and then because that Newcastle and Everton away game, those are the two that's going to be a tough game.
Newcastle, bro, St James's Park is long.
That's going to be a tough game for us to play. We just have to kind of just be on it, because it could be a game where they're going to try and outwork us in that midfield.
It's physicality when Newcastle.
And you got Isak. Isak will be playing, so he's always going to be looking as dangerous. Gordon is going to be doing what he can. Obviously, he wanted the move, didn't get the move, so he's probably going to try and prove a point. Maybe we should have pushed for him, whatever it may be. We just have to be on it. And set piece, they just got huge defenders, bro. So,
they're a good team, man. It's
we have to be on it away from home. And then the Everton one, it's not the fact that they got good players; it's the fact that their last game at Goodison Park, and they're just going to be on it. They're just going to, it's the pride of the city, so they're just going to want to push and try and get that win to kind of seal off their last home game against us, or Merseyside derby against us. And I think if we can come out of those games, I think the Man City one won't be easy, but I think we'll give them a big scare, and I think we'll play well against them. It's just those couple of away games that the other two teams don't really have nothing to lose, where they might just try and do certain things in the game, where City might be a bit more cautious because They're like, well, if Liverpool, if they say we beat Southampton, they ended up, I don't know, drawing against Spurs, and they know, okay, we got to play them next. They'll be like, I don't know, we can't lose here now. We can't lose this game.
It's 5 points at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. So if they drop points again and we win, that drops to what?
When we won the league, we played Man City, and that win took us 11 points ahead. It was over, bro. That's what I knew, bro. It was over, bro. I didn't have any.
Yeah, it might not be far off that, you know.
Yeah, so it could be running. I think it'll be 12 this time if they lose to Spurs or whatever. But
yeah, if they lose to Spurs and we win, we go on. What will we 5? So 8 points, and then we beat them. Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah,
go to
Scav's right. The only other time you're ahead of City at these points is if they've got games in hand. That don't really count, bro, because when City have when City have games in hand, they'll win the game.
Yeah. The thing is, we could.
They came back and they came back and it was like, oh, Arsenal, Liverpool haven't taken advantage. No, all right, safe. We'll just go win every game. They did.
The thing is, we have to. Although yes, we could go into that Man City tie ahead of them. We could extend the points. That would be fantastic. The thing that we've seen more commonly is actually Liverpool drop points against someone like Southampton, and then we don't go into it. So we can't look past that tie. And I think Liverpool's performance off the back of an international break, looking at Real Madrid in the Champions League, looking at Man City in the league, and taking their eye off of the game that they actually play on that day against Southampton, that will be where they trip themselves up. So they've got to make sure that they don't think by any means that is just a foregone conclusion. You've got to go out there and perform as if you are playing Real Madrid and Man City. And if you do that and you score your goals early, fine, take your foot off the gas, relax, rotate, no problem. But you cannot start that game thinking about the ones ahead. And Liverpool have tripped themselves up so often because of things like that, where they think they can just cruise through their games and they really can't. So we need to make sure we take that seriously.
Yeah, because every other time we play Real Madrid, we've had to win the game because you kind of get knocked out or lose a final in it. This isn't a must win. I want to win the game, but this isn't a must win. Same with Man City. Like technically, Man City is not a must win. I'm not trying to be happy with no draw against City, bro. Need to beat them, bro. You know what I mean? Change the mentality of the players and that. I think the big players will have a helping hand in this, man. 100%, bro. Even with whatever they're saying to the newer players and stuff like that, because I don't think the pressure's the same for them. They all seem a lot more relaxed, bro.
Yeah,
like they don't know what's happening now. Salah seems they just look like they're enjoying their football again. So
and that's always a good thing,
yeah, man. That's why they look so comfortable, bro. That's why Salah looks so good because he's having fun.
Yeah,
it's one of them, bro. So.
All right, guys, man. Appreciate you as always, man. You guys got any videos popping up tomorrow?
Just the Chelsea video tomorrow morning. That's about it.
All right, cool. What about yourself? Nothing yet?
No.
All right, guys, man. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that stream, man. I definitely did. Let us know in the comments, man, if you disagreed, agreed with all the takes that we came up with today. Look, we're back on the weekend, man. We need them 3 points, bro. We have to get them 3 points. If we can get them 3 points this weekend, I think it makes the other weekends a bit more easier because I feel like these two, I think City and Arsenal will slip up in this weekend's games, man. It's going to be tougher games than what they expect it to be because Forest is in and around them. Spurs is in and Spurs are 10th, to be fair, but they kind of are Man City's bogey team as it stands at the moment, bro.
What are you not thinking about Man U before we go?
Well, the manager and the team.
Well, yeah, they got a new manager though.
I think they'll be playing better football.
Yeah, that's what
is he going to play 3 at the back? Do you think?
Probably.
I have no idea.
We have to wait and see what happens in the Premier League, bro. Try it out and then realize he might get cooked up, brother, and say, "Nah, listen, go for it at the back."
Yeah, because when they asked him, I do like when he speaks and stuff like that. Like he seems very confident in what he's talking about. And that's what he kept saying. And it's like, listen, I've only got like 2 training sessions with them. He said the one thing I promise is you'll see something different, and because he plays one way in it. So it'd be interesting, man. If you're just going off what a manager spoke about, and obviously every manager comes in saying something and either downplaying it. He seems mad confident, bro. Like,
mad confident. You know what that helps though? That helps especially against Arsenal and City. Because for some reason, Man United's just been giving up the points, bro, to Arsenal over the last couple of years. So it might help taking points.
Didn't they beat Arsenal last season?
I know, but like the game
it was like 3-1.
Didn't they beat them 3-1? Or was it Man U?
Man U beat them 3-1.
Was it Man United that beat them 3-1? But yeah, Arsenal. Because I think the last time they lost to a big team was in our City. They lost because I remember their fans going, "Oh, we ain't lost to the top 6 in ages." It's been like 2 years, and I think the only one they lost to was City.
When are we gonna stop this top 6 thing anyway, bro? Because they're not even the same teams anymore, bro. Just rating up these teams for no reason. Spurs and that. Allow it, bro.
Well, Spurs have been called a Big Six club for years. And
I know everyone's got like YouTube channels named after. I know everyone's got YouTube channels named after the Big Six and all that. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you just kick that person out, whatever content creator that is, if you support a dead team, kick him out, bro. Yeah. Nah, kick him out, bro. Some Nottingham fan.
Yeah, you're bridging out, bro. The Belgians, listen, not this year, bro. You
this top 6 thing is an absolute farce, bro. They've been, bro.
It just has a good ring to it, innit? I think it's more that than anything
Spurs
else.
are the Big Six, then Leicester's the Big Six, bro. I ain't trying to hear about Spurs, bro.
Why is it 6 anyway? Why is it?
Oh, because
why is it 6?
You know what it is? It's the woke generation, innit? Give everyone a medal. It used to be the top 3, and then it went to top 4. It was like, the Big 6. Sorry for people and that, bro. Crazy, bro.
Give everyone a medal.
Yeah, bro. It doesn't make sense. Because what's the Conference League 7th? 7th.
Yeah.
So then it should be
That's what I'm
7th.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it should be top 7.
And Spurs still in it, the 10th.
Oh, shit, man. All right, guys. Peace out, man.